previous German Grand Prix have been affected by rain. Today marks the 5th race to ever be affected by rain at the German Grand Prix. Welcome to what should be the race of the season, race 1008, round 11 of the 2019 Formula 1 World Championship takes part in Germany. Shares borders with 9 other countries, all of which have experienced the rain, not less in Belgium as well, where the 24 hours was stopped. 1/3 of Germany is still covered in forests and woodlands, which this track used to blast around, but it was modified in 2002 to a stadium sector which delivers great racing. 2.836 miles, 144 miles per hour is the average speed. 17 turns, a lap record, beaten yesterday, now a 1:11.767. And in 2000, Fischer-Keller and Schumacher came together at the start of the race. Fischer-Keller in the wall, the same as Schumacher. It happened again the next year with Luciano Berti. In 2014, at turn 6, the hairpin, Hamilton went up the inside, locked up, banged wheels with Raikkonen. Ricciardo tried to gain the position, but Hamilton was able to take them both. And last year, in similar conditions as we're seeing today, Sebastian Vettel lost the World Championship by crashing into the wall at turn 13 of the Satch curve. 3 tyre compounds here this weekend. Don't expect to see them in today's race. The soft, the medium and the hard. If we do go into the dries, expect to see the soft tyre be used the most. But it's going to be intermediates and a full wet tyre start to the German Grand Prix. This is how they line up on the starting grid then for the German Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton on pole position for the 87th time alongside Max Verstappen for his second front row start of the year. Row 2, Valtteri Bottas alongside Pierre Gasly. Mercedes, Red Bull. Row 3, Kimi Raikkonen, his highest start since leaving Ferrari. He's alongside Romain Grosjean in 6th place as well. Row 4, Carlos Sainz starts 7th. Sergio Perez back into qualifying 3 up into 8th place. And row 5, Nico Hülkenberg and a fuel issue in Q3 for Charles Leclerc drops into 10th place. Row 6 sees Antonio Giovinazzi alongside Kevin Magnussen starting 12th. On row 7, Danny Ricciardo is 13th and Danny Kvyat starts in 14th. The 2 Daniels on the 7th row. Row 8, Lance Stroll in his highest qualifying since Canada last year alongside Alexander Albon on row number 8. Row 9 sees George Russell and Robert Kubica, and the 10th row sees Lando Norris with a grid penalty for changing the battery, and Sebastian Vettel not qualifying but in permission to start the race. Alongside me in the commentary box, Martin Brundle and David Croft, but down in Sky Race Control, and someone we're going to come to first is our father Ian Burch. Good afternoon, Dad. And something that our hearts drop a little bit, because the race will start behind the safety car with the formation laps starting.
What a stupid decision. Know what they're doing. They're trying to get a dry line, but you remember some of the starts in the wet, right?
Yeah.
The 15-car pilot made by Mr. DC. The things like Luciano, but
yeah, Berti in 2001 and the Belgian Grand Prix as well. As we start, ready for the procedure. Dad's just rejoined us.
Yeah, they are robbing us of having a memorable start, right? The only thing they can do is, like they said to Lewis, Lewis is on now.
Rain for 13 to 60 minutes.
It is going to rain throughout, but let's just say the formation lap will commence on time behind the safety car. So as you were going to say, Dad, they're going to go around, reduce the laps and start the race behind the standing start. Over to you.
Yeah, they could do a standing start or a rolling start after a few laps to get rid of some of this water. These tyres do clear a hell of a lot of water off the circuit, and 20 of them going around doing that will give you a dry line, but it doesn't give you a race.
Absolutely right. And hold on, Dad. And we are ready. It is 3:10 here in Germany, and the formation lap begins behind the safety car. This could effectively be the start of the German Grand Prix, depending on whether or not Michael Masi, our race director, decides we will have a standing start. A new rule brought in a few years ago means that now we will have continual it means that now we will have have continued formation laps behind the safety car, and when it is deemed safe, we will come round to the grid, start the race with the traditional 5-lap sequence, and then the number of laps that we've done behind the safety car will be taken off the overall race distance. And Dad, it's officially our first safety car start since the 2016 Brazilian Grand Prix, and we remember how that one was as well. Over to you.
I remember a time when they positioned the hamburger and tea wagon in the wrong place in Brazil, and we had about 10-12 cars off during that race at the same corner, and it was exciting. I remember that. It was 15 to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was, you still remember it, and that's the point. A wet race can be one of the most memorable races of the lot. You know, you've got to have a bit of trust in these drivers and let them race.
And that's exactly what I think every fan is saying right now. The only great thing about this is the fact that right now it's just a formation lap behind the safety car. There's no sign currently of the safety car coming in. All the teams and all the drivers, by the way, are on those full wet compound tyres. So if it is a standing start, it's level for everyone. But right now, this is the formation lap, and if it is going to be a safety car start, when they cross the line now, the race will begin. So if it is a standing start, it's going to happen now. If it's not, it's going to happen then, Ted.
More than that, and not as heavy as the rain we saw perhaps 40 minutes to an hour ago. We'll see. I'll let you know if that changes. Not too many panics on the grid. A few changes to some brake ducts, some rear brake ducts, particularly on the Force India, on the Racing Points, on the Renaults as well. I saw them changing the
66 laps to go.
Hulkenberg's car. There were engineers and mechanics thinking about if it was a normal start, whether it might be an intermediate tyre start. But I think with the risk-averse new race director, maybe that was something that was never going to happen.
Oh, Science Radio.
2 seconds, Ted.
A bit better than in the laps to agree. Still full visibility.
So it's better, Dad, than what it was on the way to the grid. So are we close to getting a 5-light start? Of course, Dad. If they do have a 5-light start, they do run the risk of what we saw back in 1998, a massive pile-up. So if it is a safety car start, it'll be the boards around the circuit will flash SS, which is standing start. If it's a rolling start, it will be RS, which is rolling start. But they could just throw out the red flag now, stop the race before it started.
Yes, previously said.
This isn't oval racing, though.
Yes.
You know, these tracks are designed.
Magnussen.
On our timing screens.
Track is fine. Let's go.
Magnussen says the track's fine. We can go. Over to you, Dad.
Yeah, these tracks are designed to dry up pretty fast. It's not they don't have a danger like they have in oval racing. We should be racing now. It's ridiculous. We never had this 20 years ago.
No, we didn't, did we? We just started behind the safety car. And
how would you feel if the Indianapolis 500 started behind a safety car?
Yeah.
How would you feel if they delayed the start of the
Le Mans,
the 24-hour race in Le Mans?
There's Michael Mazzi.
He's just been overcautious.
There's our race director, Michael Mazzi, and he has got a big job to do. Magnussen saying that the track's ready. Hamilton saying the track's ready. We're going to have another formation lap. The clock has not started on my monitor. So the race has not started yet. Remember, the race can start within the race has to be 2 hours long, completed in a 4-hour duration. So we want enough time. Safety car lights are off, I believe. I can't see safety car lights. Can you, Dad? Yes, I can.
No, I think Michael Massey was typing something there, and an instruction.
We're going to get a lot of that.
Yeah, over to you, Dad.
The thing is, these cars, there's no refueling.
So we lose those distances. Yeah, we lose.
You've got to take these off.
Yeah, we've got to take the laps off. We're going to lose racing laps because we're having so many formation laps. So this is a rule that was brought in a few years ago, and I think it cheapens it.
Yeah, I do.
Just leave it that wet. Come on, let's go.
They want to go, we want to go, but the live timing's gone down. The live timing's gone down up in the commentary box, so I'm not getting any information. We have to assume it's gone down in race control as well, because we're getting the official pit lane channel. I'm looking at the monitor and just hoping that we're going to there. The race still says 67 laps, but we've spent, what, 3-4 laps behind the safety car? So you've got to take those off. But the good thing they haven't done, Dad, is they haven't red flagged it. They haven't brought them back into the pit lane and say no, delayed start. We might just get a race started here sooner rather than later. But no sign yet, Ted.
People would be taking a gamble on litres at this point, but they can't, because it's still a formation lap.
This is the silly thing, isn't it? This is the silly thing. We're having formation lap after formation lap. But it should have, for what should have happened, the race should have started behind the safety car. We should have started counting up the laps, and then when the safety car came in, give us the 5-light start on what, lap 6? Give us the start then. The track looks dry to me, Dad, and it looks perfectly fine in the stadium sector. There is a few bits of standing water, but the safety car is still going round. We're going to have 60 laps.
Yeah, I think that's what they're heading for, isn't it? 60 laps.
Yeah.
I thought that when they said they were going to do this, that they'll try and do 60 laps.
Yeah.
But
Well, look at Hamilton.
Start racing.
Well, there's the weather. This weather is going to continue for, as Ted said on the grid, an hour. So this is going to be an hour. So when do we go racing? This is just insult to injury now. It's a procedure that must be changed. They must allow a safety car start, but then give us the 5 lights after. It's technically what they've done here, but they're taking racing laps away from us. So it's all a bit tricky. It's all new to us. It's happened in Formula 2 before, though. We have had this procedure in Formula 2 before, in the Italian Grand Prix of 2017, but we've never had it in Formula 1. What's this? Safety car will enter pits. It is a standing start. It is a standing start. The safety car will enter the pits. The cars will line up on the grid. We will get the 5 lights, and the German Grand Prix will be underway. What an unusual start to the German Grand Prix here. But now we're going to have 62 laps of racing. So we will have 62 laps ahead of the German Grand Prix. Hamilton from Verstappen, Bottas, Gasly, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Sainz, Perez, Hülkenberg, Leclerc, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Kvyat, Stroll, Albon, Russell, Kubica, Norris and Vettel is the grid, and we will get a standing start to the Grand Prix. So what's basically happened is we've had the formation laps, the track is now at a suitable level to go racing. They are on full times.
Safety car is coming in.
Over to you, Dan.
I think that Formula 1 should take a thing from IndyCar a few years ago. IndyCar trialled the big Dodge trucks with a jet engine type thing on the back.
Yes. Oh, we've lost Dad. We've lost Dad, unfortunately, on the monitor. Oh, he's back now.
Yeah, they tried this thing with the Dodge trucks driving side by side with these big blowers on the back, and it just dried the track enough for them to race.
Yeah. Well,
This
here we
is the
go.
richest formula in the world. Why aren't they doing something like that?
Yeah. Well, we're going to get a start. No matter what you think, the race is going to begin behind. Well, it's 64 laps. 64 laps ahead of us then for the German Grand Prix. Hamilton is on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side is Max Verstappen. He has the inside line down to turn 1. It's been a bit of a delayed start to the German Grand Prix, but we are about to get underway. The safety car has been out for 5 laps. The field is now forming up on the grid to do a standing start. We will have the usual procedure of seeing the 5 red lights. 1 light, 2 lights, 3, and in Germany, it is action at Hockenheim. Lot of wheel spin from everybody. Great start from Grosjean. Bottas goes to second. Verstappen shot down the other. Kimi Raikkonen out to third. Leclerc goes to the inside. Off goes Bottas. Are they all going to get through safely? I can't see with the spray Hamilton leads as Raikkonen tries to go around the outside of Bottas. Everyone being very gingerly on the opening lap. Norris is off, so's Antonio Giovinazzi. Vettel's made a good start. Leclerc's dropped back a bit. Gasly's up into 4th place. Raikkonen to 3rd as well. But everyone, Dad, crucially got away well.
Yeah, great start by Vettel. He took a right-hand line and he made up about 5 or 6 places.
3 abreast.
And they're all really cautious. This is the bit.
This is the hairpin, turn 6. They're all going really carefully in this contact. That's Hülkenberg with Grosjean. Off goes Sainz and the walls tiptoeing around. But Hamilton and Bottas and Raikkonen are away at the front. Verstappen is 4th according to my monitor. So it was Gasly who dropped down to 7th place on the grid, and he's battling now. It is indeed Gasly. He's off the track at the Mercedes corner. Leclerc trying his best as well to stay up the order. They are all tiptoeing around, and off goes Carlos Sainz. Off goes Lance Stroll as well. The first of 64 laps ahead of us for the German Grand Prix, and they're all tiptoeing as they come into the Satch curve area. Crucially though, nobody's made contact and they've all got away safely. Turn 13, it's Raikkonen 3rd, Verstappen 4th, Hülkenberg 5th from Leclerc. He's up from 10th to 6th, he's made up 4 places. Lap 1 at racing speed is underway. And Hamilton, Bottas, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Hülkenberg as well. We've got big balls of spray. That is Gasly. That's Verstappen trying to get a little bit of a look. Here's the battle. Look, there's Sainz and Magnussen battling. Gasly's just ahead of them. Magnussen chucks it up the inside, and this off goes Sainz as well. He's off at turn 1. Magnussen's caught up in the battle with Sergio Perez, who's got through to 10th place now. Magnussen launches it up the inside. Oh, they're all slipping and sliding as there's Giovinazzi getting through on Danny Ricciardo for 12th place. Ricciardo trying to hold him through on that one, but he's just not getting through as they head round turn 5, the Parabolica. Here comes Sergio Perez then. He's looking to the outside as well. Wide and too deep goes Kimi Raikkonen, and up side by side goes Verstappen as Hülkenberg made the error. Leclerc's going for 5th place. Vettel's up to 14th as Verstappen regains 3rd place from Kimi Raikkonen. The man who in the last wet Grand Prix at the Brazilian Grand Prix in 2016 caused the red flag and crashed into the wall. Ricciardo has dropped down to 14th place as well as Vettel moves up into 13th. So from 20th to 13th on that standing start. We're on board now with Sebastian Vettel. He's into the Mercedes corner, Dad.
Yeah, great one there on Ricciardo by Sebastian. He took a near side line and just took him at the corner there. There's a car on the right hand side.
Sergio Perez is in the wall and he's crashed already, and the rear wing is gone, the front wing is gone. That's going to bring out the safety car, and I wouldn't be surprised if it might stop the race. If it's too dangerous out there, they might stop the race. The safety car is deployed. The safety car is called on lap 3. So we had a formation lap. Now we get the safety car on lap 3 of 64, and it was Sergio Perez. He's gone in. He must have lost it somewhere because he's gone in sideways and then into the wall as Sebastian Vettel pits. This must be for intermediates, Dad. This must be for intermediates.
Yeah, I think the wets. The wets needs to be changed now, and definitely the back end of the grid. It's a no-brainer. Just do it.
Yeah, you've got nothing to lose whatsoever. So Vettel goes on to the intermediates. Albon is in the pit lane as well. Hamilton's going to pit as well, so they're all going to change now under the safety car to the intermediate tyres. They've got the time, as you said, they've got the pace, they may as well. So the entire field is about to come into the pit lane. But if they do red flag the race, if they feel like it's a bit too dangerous, what do we do then? Do we hang around for an hour?
Here's Lewis.
Yep, you're right. This is Lewis, our race lead. He's got 6 seconds to Bottas. Bottas is trying to back the pack up, isn't he? And let Lewis effectively have a free pit stop. There is the car of Sergio Perez, who must have slid across the track, coming to Mobile 1. That's Hamilton on the radio then. Replay. This is on board with Sergio Perez then. So on board with Sergio Perez, he's twitching as he comes round in turn 8, coming back through 9 and 10. Does he go? Yeah, he just loses the rear in mid-corner, and he's going to go straight into that wall. Not a heavy shunt, but a shunt that can happen, and he's beached it on the curb. So, what do we do? What do we do? Do we keep racing? Well, Hamilton's managing it.
The strange thing about that crash was that he punctured the left front.
Yes.
And yet at no time did the left front hit anything.
Yeah, that was very, very strange. As Hamilton pits now for a set of the intermediate. So, and Bottas is in. So the double stacking, beautifully done by Mercedes. Verstappen's in now as well. So Bottas is going to lose the time because look, he's got the entire field coming. He's have to wait for Leclerc. Now he gets out. Ted.
Other cars went
No, Ted. Hulkenberg's coming in. Oh, there's contact. There's contact. Leclerc hit the side of Grosjean, and Grosjean stopping. Grosjean stopping. He was holding up the Mercedes, the McLaren there of Lando Norris. So they're all, and Sainz as well in. So they're all coming in, and it is completely jumbling up the race. So Leclerc 6th, Hulkenberg 7th, Norris 8th, Russell 9th, Kubica 10th. They haven't pitted. They've stayed on full wet tyres. Kevin Magnussen is up into 2nd place now because he hasn't pitted. Track temperature at 26 degrees. So this water is going to be shifted quite quickly. But the bigger question is it hasn't been shifted yet, which is interesting. So the safety car is out on lap 4. Let's take a look at the start. So look at the poor start from Verstappen. Gasly got caught up in that, but Verstappen gets the launch in the 2nd phase, able to get back up to 4th. Bottas goes off the track, and meanwhile the rest of the field is tiptoeing around in the back. On board with Grosjean. This is what Grosjean saw. He has to dive to the inside. Both the Red Bulls make a terrible start, but a good start from Bottas. Race control, safety car in this lap. Dad, what did you make of the start?
If you noticed that I did, one of the Toro Rossos, I think it might have been Albon, right, had a really, really bad start, and that is where it opened up for Vettel.
Yeah, he's 14th now, Albon, as Christian Horner having that angle off the start. And this is Grosjean, look. Leclerc comes out, and Grosjean has to step on the brakes to not avoid taking off in the pit lane and causing a red flag.
It'll be a release thing, won't it?
Yeah. It'll be an unsafe release for sure. Intermediate tyres then. Kevin Magnussen could take the lead in the Grand Prix here as we're on new inters for the rest of the field. We're green again at Hockenheim after 3 laps behind the safety car. We are go. And look at what Hamilton's got the drag. And Magnussen should have pitted for the inters because look at Bottas now. He's right up behind him. The entire field now is on half inters, on half wets. So who do you go with? Who do you start with? Bottas to the inside of Magnussen into turn 3. We've got, no, that's Leclerc on the inside as well. Oh, Bottas has made a mistake. Magnussen keeps the position. They're side by side. Round the outside of the parabolica. Bottas back to 2nd. Magnussen down to 3rd. Here comes Max Verstappen pulling to the outside on the intermediate tyres. He'll have the inside line into the hairpin at turn 6. It should be an easy move. Don't outbrake yourself. Oh, he braked on the water and he nearly ran into the back of Bottas. He got the standing water and that didn't help. So Magnussen's dropping quicker because he's on those full wet tyres. But this is just balmy. This is balmy racing. Charles Leclerc is up into 5th place. George Russell has dropped down the order as Raikkonen and Vettel go through. And look, they're all tiptoeing around still. Even in turn 8, they're all tiptoeing. As Perez is the first one to be out of the race. Hamilton keeps it away from Bottas, from Verstappen, Magnussen, Leclerc, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Norris, and here comes Vettel looking to the inside of, well, who is that? No, that's Charles Leclerc, apologies. That's Charles Leclerc. The graphic got it wrong. Charles Leclerc looking to the inside of Kevin Magnussen. Oh, very deep at to the Satch curve. And they're all just tiptoeing around now. Look how much confidence Leclerc's got on those intermediate tyres. He's right up behind Magnussen. Bottas fastest lap of 1:33.076 to 15 seconds a lap slower. Leclerc throws the car on the inside line into turn 1. Magnussen's going to go wide. Leclerc's going to have the power on those intermediate tyres to go right to the inside. And Leclerc goes up into 4th place as Bernard breaks himself, goes too deep. Magnussen's going to get the comeback. Here comes Hulkenberg as well. Oh, and Hulkenberg has to dive to avoid the by Kevin Magnussen. Hülkenberg now side by side, chops him off. So Magnussen down in position, Hülkenberg up to 5th, and now right on the tail of Charles Leclerc. He's going to try to the outside, coming into the hairpin. Leclerc, though, is on the dirt. He's on the wet tyre. He's going to outbrake himself. Hülkenberg has to go deep. Magnussen tries the cutback, but it doesn't work. But Hülkenberg's got better traction. Hülkenberg as well with much better traction, but Leclerc managed to get that position back as we enter turn 8. So everything seems to be calming down now in the Grand Prix. But Hülkenberg's still up there.
Well,
I'm just hearing over my radio that it's raining heavy at trackside, so that could be an issue. This is Sebastian Vettel. This is how he got through on George Russell. So Russell went across the track, and there's contact with him and Kubica. So Kubica was nearly wiped out Sebastian Vettel, and that is Raikkonen holding off Norris. And that is Raikkonen up to 7th. Ted. Dad.
I don't think Norris has changed his tyres yet, has he?
No, he hasn't. He's still on the full wet tyres. Off goes Gasly, though, at the hip, and that's on the lap. The safety car came in. And oh, look at this. Oh, that was nearly a big error for Lance Stroll, nearly into the pit wall. As we see now, Carlos Sainz is on the run on him at 1:30.853.
Try and look after these tyres. There may be more rain on the way.
Well, we know there might be more rain on the way. We've known that since the start of the Grand Prix. The question of the hour is, this is Raikkonen, goes to the outside of Kevin Magnussen. Is he going to get the move down into turn 6, the hairpin? He's trying his best. He's got the move done. Magnussen's trying to cut back at him. Raikkonen has to cut him off and just say, not today, but Raikkonen's off. Raikkonen's off. Magnussen gets back through. Sebastian Vettel now is coming for the party as Ricciardo's up to 14th place. Magnussen now having to deal with Raikkonen, who has regained from that little bit of an excursion he had. Look how much grip Vettel doesn't have. He's struggling like mad, and the rain's going to come down heavier. Remember, 3 sets of full wets, 5 sets of intermediates at the moment, so they've all got to worry, because this is a very long race, 64 laps, and we're only on lap 7, about to start lap 8 now. As up the inside of the Satch curve, Raikkonen looking for a move on Magnussen for 6th place. It's just not working off today, though. Magnussen still having to defend. Raikkonen knows right there. Look at this. He's going to go for a move. Raikkonen's got the toe on Magnussen. Magnussen's still on the full wet tyres, remember. Here comes Sebastian Vettel on his former teammate Kimi Raikkonen up the inside of turn 1. Raikkonen's going to try and cut him off. They nearly make contact as Raikkonen gets on the back of Magnussen. Magnussen went in too deep. Raikkonen with that toe gets back ahead. So Raikkonen to 6th, Magnussen 7th, Vettel still in 8th place as well. Great start from the 2 Ferraris. For the car that we didn't think would work well in the wet, they've worked fantastically well in the wet, Dad.
Yeah, can you believe we've only had 8 laps?
I'm already nearly a bottle of water out, so I'm going to have to get more because this is just barnstorming. Under investigation, Romain Grosjean and Charles Leclerc, that's for the pit stop, and that might be Leclerc with a penalty coming his way. But that's Sainz on Magnussen at the exit, so that's the pace the Inters have got, and he's got ahead of Magnussen. They're coming into turn 9. That is turn 7, and this is turn 8, 9 and 10 in the front of the Mercedes fans. All that, the Mercedes employees. Dad, were you saying something? I don't know.
Hulkenberg's having a great race. Right?
Yes.
And if Leclerc gets a penalty, right, that'll move him up a slot, because Leclerc will have to take it his next pit stop.
Yeah.
And, then Hulkenberg will just be onto the back of Verstappen then.
So, podium.
And these Inters don't last that long. 15 laps most fee, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
15 laps.
Yeah, 15 laps for an Inter. So, about lap 24, 25?
Yeah, that's when they should come in. I've got the stats in my folder here. I'm just having a quick look for you. Wet tyres, yeah, you're right, 15 laps, and they are going to be struggling, as that is Vettel, and who's into the pit lane? It is Kevin Magnussen, so he's finally...
Well, he was losing place after place after place, wasn't he?
Yeah, he should have come in under the safety car. It was good to have a Rich Energy Hasselhoff run up into second place, but they had to pit and pull on the intermediates. He's now going to pray for another safety car in this Grand Prix to get back into contention. Otherwise, because it's dropped it down to 16th place now, the entire of the grid has now made its pit stop. They are all running on intermediates now. Magnussen was the last one to hold off, as Raikkonen is still battling now with Sebastian Vettel for 6th spot in the race, and that is going to be one to watch, isn't it? As we see drama now at the hairpin. What is this? Ricciardo in P12, Kvyat and Gasly.
Stayed out on the wet weather tyres. 19 runners are on lap 10 at the moment, and it's Sergio Perez, the one driver that is out of this race after making contact with the wall.
And of course, in these conditions, you don't have to abide by the rule anymore of using two sets of different tyres.
Yeah, you're right there.
That sort of falls away in terms of using two different types of dry compound, of course.
Right.
Ted, down to you.
Everyone who stayed on the full wets at the safety car has come in. One team I was surprised was Williams, actually. They kept both tyres, both drivers out on the heavier rain tyres. You'd have thought you'd split your chances. And this is the kind of day where a team like Williams at the back might score points, but they didn't. Both were on, and both have been in, Russell and Kubica. Just quick one on the radar. It says there's heavier rain coming in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yes!
There may be some light rain coming if we hit turn 1 first.
So that's Hamilton, Dad, saying there's light rain coming at turn 1 first, but Ted's got info that it's going to rain heavier around this Grand Prix. This could be the tastiest Grand Prix of the season, so we're all holding up as we see now. Battle for 12th, Ricciardo, Kvyat and Gasly. Gasly nearly ramming into the back of Kvyat there, so that was a bit too close to call there, but that's...
So if it's drying up pretty quickly,
Slicks.
Before the rain comes in, is it a good time to come in for slicks? We shall see. Down to Gunther Steiner on the Haas pit wall. Gunther, we can breathe a little bit now. That's been quite an action-packed opening 10 and a bit laps in this race. You took a gamble with Kevin Magnussen, which at the moment looks like it hasn't paid off.
Correct, we decided to split the strategy on both of them, but we need to do something. So, and he was pretty happy to stay out on the wets. But in the moment, it's paid off. But it's a long race to go.
So for Romain Grosjean as well, talk us through the pit lane incident with Charles Leclerc as you saw it down at Haas.
Oh, twitch!
Yeah, they just released him in front of us, and then he had to go hard on his brake, and then we lost momentum, and then just some people, it's a 2.5 second pit stop in a second. A lot of things happen. We lost, I don't know, about 4 or 5 positions, so that was unfortunate, I would say.
Is there any kind of consideration of, wet conditions, safety car, pit stop, lots of car in? Are they more lenient, the stewards, in that, or do you fully expect Leclerc to take a penalty?
I don't know what the stewards do on this case, but why should it be different between a wet race and a dry race? It's dangerous. I mean, the unsafe pit release, it says in the word unsafe, it can be whatever it is, it's still unsafe.
And what's your weather radar saying, Gunther? Because I'm sure you've got much more information at your fingertips. When's coming in?
We are like you, because it's rain everywhere, but then you've got this dry patch in the middle which keeps on moving around on the map, so we don't really know when it is coming and how much it is coming. That's the next point.
So what do you got out the back then? You've got wets, inters, hard, medium and soft all standing by, 2 sets of each waiting for the drivers when they need to come into the pits.
Whatever you want, we've got it.
Oh, Leclerc!
Thanks, Gunther. Charles
Leclerc having a big old slide coming into the back half of the track. What do you make of that one, Dad? Just too much curb and lost it? Oh, white line.
It went on the line.
Yeah, it went on the line completely, and off he went.
That newly painted blue and white strip that they painted on Thursday.
Oh.
And he went over the line and just different grip. Front tyres, different grips to the rear, and he lost it.
Lewis Hamilton, by the way, has won every wet Grand Prix since Japan in 2014. He has been victor in every rain-affected race. So, it's looking good for him, but Valtteri Bottas has just been on the radio, and this is what he said.
Might be some more rain, so we're hanging out.
So there might be some more rain. That's all he said on the radio. That's what we heard on the world feed when we're talking. It's Anthony Davidson.
I've just been hearing on the radio as well. They're talking in Italian about the turbo on Vettel's car. Different positions on the steering wheel. Fiddle around with the turbo. Carlos Sainz was catching Vettel for a while, but now he's starting to drop back again. Lewis Hamilton's engineer Bono came on the radio to say light rain is forecast very soon. Just a bit of light rain. So yeah, it's all going on. Teams are busy. Oh yes, and final thing, Verstappen is stuck in the dirty air.
Carlos, weather forecast is just drops at times for the next 15 minutes. Just drops at times for the next 15 minutes.
But it's going to get heavier, and we've got an awful long way to go in this Grand Prix. That 15 minutes, that's what, 5 laps? So, we've got a long way to go. Over to you.
Well, what you can't see is how excited Ant Davidson is about that. You know, he's jumping up and down in his height. Yeah. You know, because he thinks, but this thing about the turbos don't like wet weather, do they?
No, we've seen that before.
And if you've had a problem with them, you know, you could have one again.
They do not like wet weather whatsoever, as we saw Alonso's car retired in 2014 in Japan with a turbo issue because the red flag was up for so long. The car got too wet and it fused the electrics, and he had to jump out. And there's Grosjean. He's running in 11th. Ricciardo 12th. You've got to feel though that Ted.
Crossover time, Crofty. That's the time at which, looking at the lap times, an Inter was starting to get a bit too slow, and you'll be quicker on the dry tyres. Was about 1 minute 27, 28, something like that. Hamilton's, what is he doing? 129s?
Yes.
130.1 on his last lap.
So we're still a couple of seconds away from what the old number crunchers down here in the pit lane think is the time to switch over to slick tyres.
That's tape, yeah.
There, just behind
and the rear
wheel of Charles Leclerc's.
No, I tell you what that looks like. That looks like an earphone, doesn't it? That looks like some sort of earphone has got caught. It doesn't look like a tape because it looks black, but we'll keep an eye on what that is. Right now, though, it's lap 14 of 64, the German Grand Prix at Hockenheim, a race that's formation laps started behind the safety car, and then we got a standing start for the first time in F1 history. That procedure was used. We've got Hamilton leading the way from Bottas, Verstappen, Leclerc, and Hülkenberg complete the top 5. Race control, a team fine imposed on Ferrari. So that is because Leclerc had an unsafe release. That is good because that doesn't interfere with the race, does it? Ferrari's error, team fine. That's good. Over to you.
Well, would anyone else other than Ferrari get that sort of thing? If that had been Haas, they'd have had a 10-second time penalty. It's just not doing it across the board. What if that car hadn't been Grosjean prevented a major accident there?
Yes. We got a failure! Engine failure! Danny Ricciardo's engine has blown up on the way into turn 6. Oil on the track as well as water, and he has got to pull off, and this could cause another safety car. He's pulled off and he's flying smoke in front of Gasly and Kvyat, but Danny Ricciardo's engine has blown, and that's exactly what we were talking about, Dad. The engines don't like this weather.
No, and if he's put oil on that track, right, that is the...
Yellow.
When you were little, we had an oil track situation in Leicester at a roundabout. And I'll tell you, it's worse than driving on ice. Right? And if he's put oil all over that track, we're in for some fun.
And that is already at turn 6. That's the part of the track where braking was already treacherous because that's where the most water is and the most standing water. Let's take another look at it. So that's the onboard of Gasly. He doesn't know where to go, does he? As he tried to get the move done on virtual safety car. Virtual safety car has been called to Ricciardo recover Ricciardo's car and to possibly have a look at the track. That is a big failure, isn't it? That's gone. And race control, virtual safety car deployed, and yeah, that's oil on the track as well, isn't it? And it's still on fire. This is all just. Look at that's clear, isn't it, Dad? That's the oil.
Yeah, you can see it from the back of the car, right? And if you deposit that on the track, well, it's just impossible. No driver can actually control their car on that sort of stuff.
Ferrari responding with some new intermediates. I'm not who's sure yet. Is there a chance they'll throw a red flag, clean it up because it's just too dangerous if that's the case, or they're going to continue?
No. They should just warn them, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
Where the oil is. They say, as you just saw from above, you could see where his car had been with the oil that was coming out the back of the exhaust. So they'll know.
Oh! Well, that was a long stop for Leclerc. I wonder why that was the problem. 4.8 seconds. Virtual safety car's ending. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the long stop was to get all the tape off.
Oh, of course.
I'll tell you what that tape looked like to me. The engine covering is always taped down. So somebody's engine covering tape has worked loose in the rain and come off.
Yeah, so at least they got it off. We're back to green flag running. So Leclerc and Hülkenberg got a free pit stop there. And if there's more rain on the way, they are in the best position. So we'll keep an eye on that because they've been on these tyres now for 12 laps. And as you said, Dad, 15 is over. And
really busy on the radio just then. Max Verstappen umming and ahhing whether to take that risk or not. In the end, deciding not to, but they're still chatting about it now. The track is quickly drying.
But it's quickly dry,
it is.
But they would have lost a little bit of tempo.
But more rain.
In these tyres under the virtual safety car because they were going so slowly. Robert Kubica getting lapped there for Williams, and the first of those running out on the track at the moment that has been lapped. We've lost Ricciardo and we've lost Perez. And what happened on the front left, was it?
It's the tape,
Charles
isn't it?
Front right.
Yeah, it's the tape. It was the tape that was getting off, as you said, Dad.
Go on properly.
Yeah, also I feel that like this situation, there was clearly rain on the radar coming in from the west that isn't quite at the track.
And that's what's, oh, Hockenheim just got the pit lane, didn't he? Coming in. But the DRS, Dad, has just been enabled. So the DRS is now in effect. The track's dry enough for the DRS to be used. But we must also remember there's more rain on the way. Coming in about 2 minutes. More rain in 2 minutes. So why exactly they put the DRS on, I don't know. But Bottas made a mistake and Verstappen's lost it! Verstappen lost it. He went for the move, but the rear's locked. He went for the move, the rear's locked, and he did well not to spin round in the opposite direction there. But Verstappen lost a lot of time there to Bottas when he should have had the move done. Wow, that was a bit of a bizarre one. Let's take another look at it. So he's into the hairpin. Bottas goes in too deep. Watch, he got on the oil. Bottas got on the oil. Goes in a bit too deep. Verstappen goes to the move. Look, almost loses it and just catches it. Supreme car control from Max Verstappen there. And I wonder if he caught the oil as well. Because it's dry around this. That's interesting. Right, interesting.
It could be. Was that the corner that he first happened at?
Yes, that was turn 6. Yeah. So that was the part of the track where Ricciardo's engine failed. As Bottas now still ahead of Verstappen. Let's hear from him on the radio.
Just be patient.
Be patient is the call, and I can see why he's saying be patient, because the rain is starting to come back to the circuit, and it's raining trackside, Dad. It's raining trackside. The monitor in my commentary box has just told me it is raining trackside, so the water's coming back. It's going to be a lot heavier, so we're in for another classic. Yeah, you on?
be patient is a good thing, because look at Vettel. Vettel started 20th on the grid and he's now in 7th, right? Because he's done it. I thought before the race, which Vettel are we going to get? The hothead or the thinker? We've got the thinker.
And he's doing it well.
I'm not ruling out a Vettel podium here.
I'm not. We've seen him do it before. So that's Raikkonen, Hülkenberg up to 5th place. Raikkonen getting himself locked up and nearly putting the car too deep. He's got a better exit than Hülkenberg, but he's too far back to have a position. But still, it is the battle between Hamilton and Bottas that we look at the front of the field, but the battle for second is much more tasty.
So you are the fastest car on track, round 2 to 3 seconds faster.
He is. He's just done a 1:27.697. He's 3 seconds a lap faster than Lewis Hamilton. Ted?
Nothing at all. Are these engineers just watching the radar and sort of radar watching and anticipating something that's not going to come? And why isn't a team like maybe Stroll, Magnussen, Norris, Russell, Kubica having a chance on slick tyres?
Well, they took a chance, didn't they, at Racing Point and at Haas and at McLaren as well, to keep the wet tyres on, and that went against them. So maybe they're a bit more cautious as a result. This is Hülkenberg on Raikkonen.
Hülkenberg, of course, has a new set of inters like Leclerc as well. We saw that pit stop, and they're working a treat. Leclerc is now effectively...
Over to the wall! Carlos Sainz has spotted it at the last corner. He's gone in sideways on the drag strip, and Carlos Sainz at turn 17, the last turn, gets it all washed up. Look at it, look, he's brought up some of that soap as well, but he's managed to get it back on the track. But Carlos Sainz in all sorts of trouble there, Dad.
Yeah, we're seeing these inters coming to the end of their lives,
and just as the rain comes,
just as the rain comes back.
It's the drag strip.
I think we might have. Oh, look at that! Look at that on the tyre.
Yes, it's the drag strip.
Right.
It's wet on the drag strip because it's different tarmac, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he was very lucky not to get up in the wall.
Leclerc is now.
Sorry guys, that's unfortunate.
It wasn't his fault.
Great selection.
Yeah.
Great selection. He manages to get into reverse really easily.
Yeah.
Right. It's a setback, but he's got away with it.
Yeah, and he's still 14th, and it's a long, long day here. And if the rain comes again, then you've got to have the tyres ready. It is raining trackside. Danny Ricciardo out of the race. We've lost 2 drivers already. But if I'm looking, the rain's coming again.
Instead, it's looking fine for him on the track.
Well, keep looking for the signs of it in the crowd. As soon as the umbrellas go up, you know where it's raining. At the moment, in that stand behind you, the Mercedes stand, right? They've got the wet stuff on, but the umbrellas aren't up yet.
No, so we might just get away with that. But apparently it's raining in the stadium sector, according to the timing screen. And I can almost see a bit of blue sky. Or is that just really, really dark grey coming across the circuit on a white sky? But this is and Leclerc nearly loses it. Do you see that? He got the acceleration right on with the water pedal, and he almost lost the rear. So they're going for it today.
Yeah, you saw there an example of how much this track is drying out, because
26 degrees is the track. Yeah. Hang on, Vettel.
You know.
15 laps, Dad. Exactly what you said. They've been on them 15 laps, so they've gone after 15 laps. So.
But they're all waiting for a safety car now.
Yeah, they're waiting for a safety car to get a whole new tyres. They're almost slicks, but you can't run intermediate tyres to the slicks. So you can't just continue them on as a set of slicks. They're not designed for that. There's just dry, wet conditions, but they've been burned out. So when do you stop? And you can see the rain now, can't you, at the stadium sector? You saw it coming down at the top of the picture, and the rain is down, but it's not heavy enough all across the track yet. You can see pedals. There's the rain. There's the rain. Turn 1, just as we heard Peter Bonington say. But He just got to wait. There's Sebastian Vettel. Round turn 6. No, where is he? Turn 3 and 4. And this is Lance Stroll up into 15th place, passing Kevin Magnussen. Magnussen, they're going to make contact. Stroll forcing Magnussen off the track there. But Magnussen, in my opinion, turned in and just look. He didn't squeeze, did he? That was always going to happen. I might just leave that one.
Well, Nico did that a few years ago and got a penalty for that.
Bottas just clipped the grass there and he's gone wide. Oh, that's really, really deep there. Really deep there. You're right, Martin. Rain in the pit lane, but you saw, there's the rain, look at the rain in the German Grand Prix, but you just saw, didn't you? Bottas clipped the grass coming into turn 16 and 17. It massively compromised him through the back half of the straight, and coming into turn 2, this is where it all gets reset, of course, so Verstappen could be in striking distance. DRS has been disabled, so it's starting to rain, so DRS has been disabled, so as quickly as it was enabled, it has been disabled, as Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hockenheim top 5. As look at Bottas, look at them, they're both trying to find water to keep those intermediate tyres alive. They're fine in the first half of the track where it's raining, but he hasn't yet got to the back half, and this is the problem. And you notice that they're flashing, not because he's in a recovery mode, because it's a wet race, they have to flash by regulation, so...
I've got a feeling Leclerc had an incident, he's fell back a lot.
I think you're right as well, because he's dropped a lot.
About 3 corners back, I feel that he had a little incident.
His first sector times were down, so I think he has had a little bit. There is Charles Leclerc. I think he has had a little bit of an incident. Leclerc is on brand new inters, remember, so if it is starting to rain, is he being the first to come up with these conditions? Because new inters, there's Magnussen pits now, so he's just going for new inters. That could be a brave call. Look how wet it is in the pit lane now. And he's putting slicks on. What on earth? He's putting the soft compound on when it's raining. Kevin, look.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not go for it?
Well, that is a brave decision. Jenson Button did that a few years ago. Do you remember? In Australia. Where is he? There he is. So Magnussen here has put on a set of soft compound tyres. Is that going to be the bravest decision of the race, or is it going to be the silliest decision of the race? We'll have to keep an eye out. It's raining on the thing, so I don't know. That is such a tricky call, but he was so far back through the order, he may as well have made that decision.
Yeah, I was thinking also.
Oh, Bottas took it too deep, yeah.
What hasn't been on your TV screen for the last 6 laps?
Lewis?
Spray.
Oh, you're right, yeah, no spray. But, yeah, because although they have got down to slick level, so they might not be producing the spray.
So when you think about it, Magnussen lost out the last time. This could get him back in the midfield. Like, he might know that if it gets worse, he has to come in for wet.
But he's quicker.
But he'll be quicker until then. So, you know, it's a gamble, but it's a gamble worth taking when you're at the back.
This might work for Magnussen then. We'll keep an eye on his sector times. I've highlighted him. His first sector times are quicker than Bottas. And his second sector times, he hasn't come into the second sector yet. His best sector 2 is a 41.8. Let's see what his best time is as he comes through the second sector. We haven't seen him yet. And I know why, because according to my timing monitor, we've lost live timing. So we'll keep an eye out, but we'll keep an eye out. What his first sector time was still the same. Look at Bottas braking incredibly early into that half of the track. Hockenheim radio. Oh, no, Leclerc, Vettel.
And box, Sebastian, box on you, soft. Unity. Copy.
Right, so they've sent Magnussen out in the Ferrari B car, and now, well, they're going to change the softs, but it's raining, so this could be a little bit of an inspired decision. Sebastian Vettel is down pit road as Valtteri Bottas goes in a bit too deep. Verstappen tries to get the move done, but didn't get it done. Vettel pits.
There's Vettel.
Inters off, softs on, smooth stop. Now, is this a brave decision? 3.8 seconds. Look how much he's struggling for grip already in the pit lane. So they've got that shine on them though, haven't they?
Yeah, I was thinking that they should have had scrubs on.
There's Grosjean going past, so it's only dropped into 10th.
Corners are very wet, everywhere else is almost dry.
Norris has just said the last 3 corners are very wet, the rest is completely dry. So they've just got to negotiate the last 3 corners. So Magnussen's lap time was a 1:53.273. So it is slower, but we will keep an eye on his time as this is the last corner. Look, it's still very wet. Bottas is sliding around now. Everyone effectively on dries as Leclerc slips and slides because all their tyres would have worn out by now. But 9 laps old for Leclerc. It's got him to 4th place, and Red Bull are going to make a decision. Are they going to go on to dry tyres as well? But who are they going to pit? They're going to pit Verstappen or try it out with Gasly, who's in 9th place. Because if the top 2 don't pit, you don't pit Verstappen.
Well, Bottas and his tyres and Verstappen's tyres look quite bad.
Yeah, Hamilton's pitting. We're on the pit lane on the...
Is it raining or not? It is still raining on the start-finish straight. The Haas was a second slower in Sector 3, half a second Sector 2, but probably okay in Sector 1.
Magnussen's times are all right.
Raining or not? It is still raining on the...
Hülkenberg has just asked if it's still raining or not. They replied with Magnussen's times. Magnussen's times is matching now to the intermediate, so he may as well go to the softs now and wait until it rains. But it's raining hard, look, in the 3rd sector, and this is where they are now. Magnussen was a second a lap slower in the 3rd sector, so they haven't got their brollies up yet, have they? But which one are they going to pit? Gasly or Verstappen? This is the big call as we're approaching half distance of the German Grand Prix. And it's just staggering how much we've still got to do. Is Verstappen going to pit?
They're going to pit Verstappen with...
Yeah, you're right. Verstappen down to pit lane, and look how much it's wet in that pit lane. Lot of spray. Charles Leclerc started 10th, now up to 3rd place. Verstappen pits for a new set of soft compound tyres. He's mediums. It's mediums. Now that is a brave call. They're going to take longer to heat up, so they've gone to mediums. They want to go longer.
Last longer.
Yeah, they want to go longer, don't they? Out of the pit lane.
They're not thinking that this rain will cause any problems.
Whoa, look at it, he's sliding out of the pit lane,
well,
isn't
they're
he?
cold, aren't they?
Yeah, the rears are 20 degrees cooler. Let's have from Bottas.
So push hard now.
So they want to pit Hamilton and Bottas, but look at Verstappen, he's still struggling for grip. Those tyres nowhere near up to temperature yet. He's only dropped him to 4th place. He's got 8 seconds to Hülkenberg, so it's worth the risk. This is Charles Leclerc coming into the stadium sector. Oh, he went too deep. He went onto the drag strip, but managed to keep it pointing the right way, not like Carlos Sainz. So it's still raining. Kvyat pits. Norris pits as we see Sainz sliding. Sainz was sliding. Kvyat and Norris in the pit lane, and else also coming in is Lance Stroll. Stroll's in as well. Mercedes are going to pit Hamilton. Look, so they're all getting ready. Toro Rosso make a good stop. But the McLaren was out first, 2.8 seconds. He's got on the softs. So has Danny Kvyat as he exits the pit lane. It's medium compound tyres going on for Valtteri Bottas. It's not Lewis Hamilton going out. It's a scrubbed set, Dad, of medium compound tyres. So they've got rid of that shine. And away goes Bottas, and that is Max Verstappen. Has he been off somewhere? Where is he? Why is there a yellow? There's a yellow flag out still in Sector 3. Why? What's happened? That is Verstappen. I don't think he's the cause of this yellow flag because it is still out. What's he done? Oh, he's lost into the gravel. Oh, did he hold it? Oh, he's had a spin.
If it starts raining, because I have no tire left, but...
Let's hear from the red...
soft tires. It's way too hard.
He wants soft tyres. Yeah?
Who else was causing that yellow flag, though?
Nobody. The marshal didn't bring it in quick enough, so it was purely Verstappen spinning, and he wants the softs, not the mediums. Bottas has just gone out on the mediums as well, as we've got Raikkonen, Giovinazzi and Gasly, and off goes Lando Norris. Lando Norris it looks like he's out of the race. He's pulling off. Why? He's just come out of the pit lane. Oh, and spinning into the gravel trap. One of the racing points is off. One of the racing points is off as well. That's Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll has spun off as well.
I've lost power. I've lost power. Gear 6 gone. I've lost power.
Lando Norris has lost power. The gear sinking is gone, but the racing point is in the gravel trap. That is Lance Stroll, who has spun off, and it's a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car has been called as now. Look, this is going to be a pit stop for Leclerc, isn't it? Who's in? Leclerc pits. Hamilton's gone round again. Hamilton's missed the opportunity to put the dry tyres on because the virtual safety car was called before that. So lap 28 of 64, virtual safety car deployed. We've lost. I think Stroll's got back on the track. I'm just looking. Lando Norris has stopped at turn 10. I think Lance Stroll is back in the race. I think he managed to get out of that gravel trap. He has. He has. So Stroll's back in the race. He managed to keep it from spinning. Charles Leclerc now in second on the softs. Hamilton's got to pit this lap to get onto those tyres. But it's starting to rain harder. So what do you do? And the tape's now on Leclerc's other side. What do you think, Dad? Well, I think we've lost him on the freeze there, but I'm not sure if he's still there or not. Who do they bring? Do they pin in Hamilton? Do they bring in Bottas? Who are they going to bring in? So Hamilton is not stopping yet. He's in the third sector. So we'll see if he's there. Albon has pitted. Here is Hamilton on the intermediates. What do you think he'll do? Do you think he'll pit?
He's got a pit.
The virtual safety car is still on. It's not. Oh, it's ending, Dad. It's ending. It's ending. The virtual safety car is ending. You lose 20 seconds in the pit lane. Is Hamilton going to continue? Well, he's coming in the pit lane. I don't believe it. Virtual safety car ending. He missed it. And now we're going to go green.
Change the lead of the race. So he's got 36 seconds over Leclerc.
It takes the green. We go green now as he's into the pit lane. But this is going to be awfully tight. Softs go on. It's a scrunch set, but there's a problem. There's a problem. He gets out, but Leclerc's just rounding turn 13. Leclerc is in second place. He's into 16.
He should just get out.
He should just about get out. You're right. Lewis Hamilton comes out of the pit lane, floors the ground. Off goes Vettel. It's Vettel. It's Vettel.
Is it Vettel?
I think it's Sebastian Vettel. Or is it Charles? It's Leclerc. It's Leclerc. You were right, Dad. You were right. Charles Leclerc off into the barrier and has beached the gravel trap. Charles Leclerc on the soft compound tyre is off. He's beached it at turn 17. He's into the wall and Charles Leclerc is out and the full safety car is called on lap number 29. I thought it was Sebastian Vettel because he would look like his helmet, but they've changed.
There twice already.
Yeah, Leclerc there was clearly pushing on those new tyres, right? And he's made a mistake, rookie mistake, right? But it's not his fault. You know, he'll learn from this.
And that is not. That you can tell how upset and frustrated he is with that. And now they're going to pit Vettel. They're going to pit Vettel onto brand new soft compound tyre. But Leclerc's out of the race because he's knocked off the front suspension by the look of it. Let's take a look how it happened. So coming round the Satch curve, that's where Vettel went off last year. Did he get on the drag strip again? Because we know how wet that is. Oh, he's lost it way before. Gets on the drag strip. It's like an ice rink and just into the wall. He might get in the race. He might not be out. If he hasn't damaged...
No, I think he is.
Has he damaged the suspension though? I'm not sure. He's beached the car, but can he... Oh, he's out. I was hoping he might just get away with that. Medium tyres... Are these Inters? Are those Inters? They are. They're Inters. Ferrari put Inters on Sebastian Vettel's car. So they're all going back to intermediates, Dad. They've all ditched it and gone to Inters.
Gasly in for 2 seconds, Ted.
Gasly's in. It's raining heavier. Off goes Raikkonen. Raikkonen's off. But that's Hamilton.
Hamilton's off.
That's Hamilton.
The pits.
That's Hamilton, the race leader, and he's broken the front wing. Bottas takes the lead in the Grand Prix. He's broken the front wing, but he's in the pit lane. He might just get away with this one.
Yeah, very good.
He might just, because it's a safety car, he might just get away with this. But Hamilton's, look, they're all saying, hurry up, we've got a man down. And then who leads? Bottas leads. Verstappen's in. Hülkenberg's in from 4th place as well. So this might just be all right. But they've got to get the wing off. They've got to get the wing on. They've got to get the tyres on. It's all chaotic here at Mercedes, isn't it? Charles Leclerc has changed the complexion of the race. It's raining too hard now to put the dry tyres on. They've had to go back.
Dropped in like a fly.
Where is he? He's now behind Hülkenberg. And look, the tyres aren't ready. Which tyres do we put on? Do we put softs on? Do we put intermediates on? Do we put mediums on? Look, we've got one medium and one intermediate. Are they all on inters? Yes. Are they all? Can we get going? Hamilton gets away. He's on the intermediate tyres. That's cost him 50 seconds. Luckily, though, it's behind the safety car. He's now behind Lance Stroll, who's come in. I think Stroll's lap down. Hamilton's filtered out. Alexander Albon is up into 4th place. Hamilton's down to 5th as the safety car is called. And wow, I thought that was Raikkonen first, but you were right again, Dad, with your calls. It was Hamilton spinning. So Hamilton spinning.
And also, it's not as bad as you think, because won't Bottas and Verstappen and Hülkenberg and Albon all need intermediates?
No, because Bottas will need to stop again.
Okay, so box for intermediates.
Yeah, Bottas will have to stop again, but Verstappen, Hülkenberg and Albon have already put the intermediates on. So Verstappen's going to take the lead of the race from Hülkenberg, from Albon. A top 3, nobody predicted in this Grand Prix is about to happen. But if the rain gets heavier now, are they going to red flag the race? But is Bottas coming in this lap? Yes he is. And he's nearly losing it behind the safety car on those slick tyres. Oh, he's cold. Don't get in the gravel. Oh, hold it, Valtteri. Nicely held. Bit of rally cross there from Finland. And he's now going to put on the intermediate tyres. Verstappen takes the lead of the German Grand Prix from Nico Hülkenberg in 2nd. Race control. Oh, wrong side of the bollard at pit entry. Hamilton's under investigation, although it's been noted. It might not be because he had to pit, so he might not get a penalty for that. There is Bottas now in 3rd place on the intermediate tyres. He's put softs on. Has he put softs on? Or is it inters? What's he put on? It's inters, for sure.
It's inters.
My monitor in the comments box says slick, soft compound, but you are right. We can see it. It is intermediate, but now the field has been led round by, I think, Romain Grosjean. But he's not the leader. Verstappen's the leader, right there. So the entire field now compromised with that crazy safety car. Over to you.
I think Lewis would get away with that because he wasn't in control of his car when he did that.
Yes.
So it wasn't deliberate. So, you know, he'd probably get away with that. Let's take a look at it.
He nearly hit Leclerc. He got in the gravel and knocked off the front wing. So he did exactly the same as Leclerc, but just got away with it. That could have been costly for him in this Grand Prix. But wow, he did it last year though. Do you remember? He crossed the pit lane.
Yeah, it was a case of he's not in control.
Yeah. But wow, safety car out.
Was the bollard even there?
I didn't see a bollard, but maybe it's the bollard further back. I'm looking on the monitor. It's the bollard at the exit of turn 16. So he was the wrong side of the bollard to commit to the pit lane. But Max Verstappen now leads the Grand Prix from Nico Hülkenberg, who has never ever scored a podium in his Grand Prix career. He's now 2nd, Valtteri Bottas is 3rd, and Alexander Albon is 4th on his first ever wet Grand Prix. Hamilton 5th, as there is the JCB, and I don't like that. They need to be a bit careful with that, because if people are going off there on the drag strip, and we saw Hamilton do it onto the safety car, anybody else can end up in there.
It's 4th.
That bad as the damage to the car. We need to have a look. We don't think anything other than the front wing.
Hamilton has been off and lost the lead and is now down in 5th. Carlos Sainz has been off a couple of times and he's down in 6th at the moment.
This is Leclerc's going off again, Dad, so we know how he did it, but he's out of the race now, isn't he? Because, that was just, it's so easy to do, and that the rain's getting heavier now, Dad, apparently. So if the rain's going to get heavier, the safety car will stay out, and I wonder if they'll throw a red, clean the track up a bit, and then let them go racing again once the rain's off. Look, that's an ice rink accident there, and that's what's worrying me. They've got a JCB in there. As under investigation, Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton under investigation, presumably for being the wrong side of the bollard when he came in. Yeah, wrong side of the bollard at pin entry. So Hamilton now under investigation. But you have got to wonder, Dad, what are they gonna do? Because the rain's getting heavier.
Because it's obvious that the other teams like Ferrari have complained that it shouldn't have been noted, it should have been dealt with.
Yeah.
Right.
Hang on.
5-second penalty at most.
Order. We've got the safety car now flashing a green light for cars to be released, but they've already got Verstappen as the leader.
Cars can unlap themselves.
You're still only halfway through the race.
Yeah, and the point is, like it's just been said on the radio, it's only halfway through the race. Anything can happen in the next half an hour.
Oh, famous quotes. This is gonna get it. This is gonna get a bit tasty. So stand by for action at the German Grand Prix. Thank you. Well, that's where I got it from. Action in Germany. That's where I got it from. That quote. But Verstappen started second. Now leads the race. And the Dutch fans are watching Max Verstappen leading a Grand Prix behind the safety car. The track is now clear. It's sector 14. So this part of the track, look, track is clear. There's your stewards, Tim Mayer, Derek Warwick, Dennis Dean and Malcolm Loth. They are the stewards. Derek Warwick is the driver steward. Verstappen's on the radio.
Okay, so we are still only halfway through the race here, Max.
Oh, we've heard that. It's Hülkenberg, look, he's still in second place. So Hülkenberg only second. Anthony Davidson,
that's the lap before. He was convinced enough to come into the pits just to put Inters on anyway under the virtual safety car. Lewis was on his way as well to do it the same thing, and he was saying on the radio, I don't think slicks is the right thing. He'll be kicking himself. He knew in his instinct that it was the wrong tyre to be on.
He knew.
Oh dear, oh dear. We are on lap 33 of the German Grand Prix.
Mercedes have caused their own downfall here, and a podium is the best we can hope for Lewis at the moment. But you never know, miracles will happen. Maybe Lewis could still win.
Safety car in this lap, so the field is re-bunched up. It is the top three there. Verstappen, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Albon, Sainz, the top six. This is where it starts to get a little bit tasty now, doesn't it? What is going to happen in the next half of the German Grand Prix? We've been racing for over an hour now, and this has just been one craziness after the other. So we're past half distance. The safety car is going to restart the race, and honestly, I can't think of anything that could not happen. As the safety car's off. The safety car went off.
Yeah, I think Charles and Lewis were the victims of oil.
Yeah, because there's Leclerc. Look. So Max Verstappen will restart the race behind the safety car from Hülkenberg second, Bottas third, Albon fourth, and Hamilton fifth. As we're coming into the stadium sector now. No overtaking though until the start-finish line. So Hülkenberg, who's on intermediates, has got to stay behind. It's raining here at Hockenheim. The weather is turning, and we are back to green, but no overtaking until that start-finish line. Verstappen's going to be very careful, as he will be the first to meet these conditions. Are you ready? Are you steady? We go green again at Hockenheim. Verstappen leads from Hülkenberg, Bottas and Albon. Hamilton across the line as well. Look at that already. Hamilton's being caught off guard. Vettel now going around the outside. Gasly gets through on Vettel. Goes a little bit too deep though. Vettel's dropping like a stone. He's on slicks, isn't he? So he's going to be dropping big time as they all come through as well. I'm looking. He's on Inters, but he's gone too deep. Giovinazzi now with Danny Kvyat as well, having a bit of an argument and a battle about all this, but Verstappen has got a comfortable gap now to Hülkenberg second. Look at this. This is Hamilton under pressure as well. As up the inside, Carlos Sainz. Hamilton trying to get round Alexander Albon into the hairpin at turn 6. Hamilton's got to be careful. He forces him too deep. Here comes Carlos Sainz to the inside, and Lewis Hamilton has got a time penalty of 5 seconds. 5-second time penalty in the next pit stop for Lewis Hamilton. Insult to injury there with a crash and now a penalty. Wrong side of the bollard, and there's touching there between Sainz and Raikkonen. Wheel-to-wheel contact there, but Lewis Hamilton down a 5-second time penalty. You there? I don't think he's there at the moment. Oh, the pitch looks like it's frozen. Verstappen from Hockenheim. Bottas as well. A little bit of contact. Oh, wow. I'm losing track of all this, Dad. I don't know how you're managing.
Well, I think that that 5-second penalty would drop him at the moment, like, to 12th on the grid.
Wow.
So, you know, he's got to make some improvement on that midsection to even stand a chance of a podium.
And this is where it gets worrying, because if the rain's getting heavier, they're all on intermediates now, so they don't have to stop for another set of inters. But we've lost 5 cars. Leclerc, Norris, Ricciardo, Perez, that's only 4, sorry. We lost 4 cars from the running of this Grand Prix. Are you going to say something, yeah?
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, there is...
Oh, we've lost... we've lost Dad. The rain is affecting our communications. Try again.
Right, there is a scenario that could work here for Lewis. Right?
Really?
If there's a safety car, the next in the pit window where he needs to change these tyres, round about lap 50, right? If there's a safety car around that time, right? Lewis can he take his 5-second penalty under a safety car?
Well, as far as I know, he should be able to, because it's a pit stop. But we'll have to double check with that. You can't serve a drive-through under a safety car, can you? But I'm sure you can serve 5 seconds. We'll keep an eye out. But look at this. 10.
Haven't been tempted to put on the dry tyres at all. In fact, there are only 2 of 4 drivers who weren't tempted by the slicks. Turned out to be the right thing to do. Hulkenberg, that's why he's there. Sainz, Russell and Kubica were the only ones who didn't run slicks in that period. It was the right call.
It's costing Hamilton big bundles of time. Start behind Albon's Toro Rosso. Hamilton now 11 seconds off the lead.
Wow.
So not getting any better for Hamilton in the stewards room potentially as well, because he's under investigation once again.
Hamilton is under investigation yet again. What for now? Let's take a look. So Lewis Hamilton is under investigation yet again for driving unnecessarily slowly while the safety car is deployed. Surely that can't be it. He crashed. Here he goes, an Albon again at turn 6. He's not going to get the move done there unless he can try and get the cut back, which he has done. Can he get the move done? Yes, he can. The DRS has been re-enabled, even though the rain is still there. Hamilton gets ahead of Albon then, as Hülkenberg takes... Is that Hülkenberg and Bottas? Yes, it is. Bottas trying to get past Hülkenberg. It didn't pay off there. Hamilton has got the head of Albon, and Grosjean's up to 12th. He is passing him now, as Hülkenberg battles with Bottas, as catching the spray coming through Mobile 1 into Satch Curve now, and they are honestly just going left, right, and centre. They are trying all the tricks in the books, as well as we are checking on Lewis Hamilton's penalty. He is under investigation.
Yeah, I want to know where this penalty was deemed to have happened, because of the fact that
I want to know.
You know, Lewis was driving too slowly when the safety car was deployed.
Yeah,
so it was half of them.
Yeah, because they were all slipping and sliding. The rain was too hard, so we want to know exactly what happened. Vettel.
Gasly 0.8 behind on DRS.
Vettel getting an update there. He's got DRS advantage to Raikkonen and Gasly, but
I think this one's hard to prove, don't you?
I do. It's very hard to prove because the entire field would go like it. But Bottas sends it out the inside of Hülkenberg into turn 6. Can he get the move done? Hülkenberg goes a bit too deep. Bottas gets through back into second place and now can set after race leader Max Verstappen. That was a superb late braking move, but I don't think Hülkenberg's done with the Mercedes yet. I'm checking. No news in the moment on Hamilton's penalty, but as soon as we have some, we will give it. As we are checking, we've got the radio open as well, so we'll hear anything on the pit lane channel. Lap 34.
And also, if you look, right?
Don't like the look of that.
If you look, right, already after just a couple of laps of DRS, right, Lewis is actually
back,
would be in 7th, not 13th place.
Yeah.
So, you know, things are changing as in matter of moments.
But the rain is coming back, and there's a big blue patch of rain coming as well that might interfere. It's raining again, trackside. Hamilton gets a little bit of a wiggle out of turn 1, but he's still there with Hülkenberg. There's the cloud coming as well. Hamilton has got to get past Hülkenberg, and he's got to get that time to Verstappen.
I think the Inter is the right tyre to be on. I don't think anyone is going to be tempted by the slicks, but I must say, if you look out your commentary box window,
darker.
It's quite bright though,
Is it? No, I thought darker.
To the right it is, yes.
And I noticed that some of the drivers are starting to dip their time.
Hamilton at the inside of Hülkenberg into turn 6. They nearly make contact. Hülkenberg has to take avoiding action, but that is a net position lost. But Hülkenberg still remains in 3rd place, remember, because Hamilton has 5 seconds.
Overlap break.
And Hamilton would only be down to 4th with the present things.
Yes.
If he gets another time, 5 seconds, that's
him done.
Yeah.
Let's take another look. So he sent it up the inside very nicely on Hülkenberg. And Hülkenberg knew he nearly fought him, didn't he? Hülkenberg knew he didn't have to fight. He turned too early because he thought Lewis would have gone past him by then. But he doesn't have to fight Lewis because he's got that 5-second penalty. So he's still ahead overall. It's raining heavier trackside apparently, but according to my timing monitor, but I can't see any rain on the monitor. It's lap 39 of 64 of the German Grand Prix at Hockenheim. What is turning out to be the most eventful race of the season. Vettel went too deep. Vettel went deep. Gasly's going to come back at him for that. Oof. It's all classic racing today at Hockenheim.
Vettel and Gasly are my next thought that they could come together.
Yeah, they're getting way too close, aren't they?
They're both desperate. They're both desperate for a good result here.
Oof. If they're going to make contact, it'll be the hairpin at turn 6 or the last 2 corners. Someone's got on the grass there. You can see it's been ripped up ever so slightly, look. For Gasly radio.
Hülkenberg.
We expect the rain to slowly reduce.
Well, that's not what the thing radar's saying, is it? The rain to reduce. It looks like it's going to get heavier according to the radar. So I don't know what Red Bull are looking at, but radar say different things. You may as well just go back to the old-fashioned way and stick your hand out. Is it raining? Yes, it is. Okay, thank you very much. But right now, Vettel in 8th place, Gasly's 9th. He's got the cutback though. Look, so this is the stadium sector coming up, and he's got the run on Vettel. Giovinazzi's in 10th place as well. Hülkenberg's still in 3rd place, but it only just look. Oh no, correction. Look, he's still there. Still within 5 seconds of Hamilton. Fastest lap, 1:27.623 for Verstappen. He's just set the fastest lap of the race, as it's lap 40 of 64. And this is looking even better off the track. Someone's off the track and into the wall. Is that who was that? It's Raikkonen. Raikkonen off the track he's on the drag strip, and Giovinazzi's going to have him now as well. And Raikkonen is not that far down. He's in 9th place. So Vettel and Gasly go up another position, but you can still make mistakes here, and this track punishes you if you make a mistake. Let's take a look how we did that. So comes in to the stadium sector. He's just going to go too deep. Yeah, exactly what happened to Leclerc and Hamilton. But, he gravel trap as well.
It's oil.
Yeah, it's the oil from Ricardo.
It's on the braking line.
They've got to clear that up because it's still wet in that part of the track. But Raikkonen still ahead of Giovinazzi. You can see the oil in the track there. That looks darker to me. Don't know about you, but that looks darker at turn 6,
yeah,
not brighter. So it's going to rain heavier, isn't it? So Verstappen from Bottas. Hamilton's down 2. I thought there was men on the track there, but they're just outside of the track. We've had people on the track here, of course. 2000. We had a disgruntled Mercedes-Benz employee.
Raikkonen just another wiggle.
Yep, he's twitching. So is the foot of the race engineer at Sauber. And it's raining again, heavy in the last sector. I'm quite surprised. Oh, there we go. Someone's in the wall.
It's Renault.
It's Hülkenberg. It's Nico Hülkenberg from 4th place. He's in the wall. third. A possible podium position has gone again. The bad luck continues for Nico Hülkenberg. He's broken the suspension, you can see it on the steering wheel. He's in the wall, and he is out of the race, and that's going to deploy the safety car yet again. That's going to deploy the safety. This is how he did it, look. Coming into the stadium sector, he gets on that oil dad, he gets on the drag strip, and it's like an ice rink. Can't stop, into the wall. Good night, Vienna. Safety car deployed. Safety car deployed. If I was Hamilton, I'd pin out. Dad, look at that ice rink.
Yeah, Lewis has got a 24-second gap, hasn't he?
Yes.
So he could do, if he were allowed to take this, then he can.
He should come in now and take it. But look at that, broken front wing, he's beached the gravel. This is treacherous now. It's raining heavy in that part. Hülkenberg, how many cars have we seen off with that track strip today? It's unbelievable. Rosberg.
Barry's at the same corner.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, everybody
I think it all goes back.
just struggling with the rear end, going into that sequence of corners, and then they go out onto your favorite ice rink, and then they hit the wall. I'm still looking forward to Lewis coming up to Bottas now, though. That's going to be a really, really cool internal team battle there coming up.
I think we're
Verstappen in. I think Mercedes is going to pit as well. So Verstappen puts on a new set of intermediate tyres. So he's going to go till the end of the race. As he nearly loses it coming out of the pit lane. Ted.
His engineer was saying if there's a safety car now, do you think we could go to slicks? Because the radar, Cropley, says there's not going to be any more rain between now and the end of the race. So what do they do? Better safe than sorry, Verstappen. Good call, I think that.
Yeah.
Be on the right tyre at the right time.
Vettel in. So Sebastian Vettel's coming in as well from 6th place. He's going to put on another set of intermediates. They've got 5 sets of inters because they were gifted another set when rain was predicted for free practice 3. So they've got 5 sets to use. And there's a slow stop there, 4.4 seconds again. But the safety car doesn't really count the time, does it? Because you have got time to spare. But the safety car is out for what I think is the 3rd time today. And if I look at my notes, just 4 races here have seen a safety car period. There has yet to been a race to feature more than one safety car period. It's happened now. I'd let him do it. Get it out of the way because you're on the safety car. Just do it. Don't get caught up behind the safety car. Come in, serve your penalty and go. And this is Vettel.
How good it is to
I think that Verstappen might have been speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, he was oversteering, wasn't he? Oh, that tyre again. Well, did it go on? I didn't see a gun. Can we have another look at that?
Yeah, gun went on.
Yes, gun went on. I didn't see it from that angle. The halo was blocking it. But yeah, what say again, Dad, by the way?
Yeah, I think Verstappen might have been speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, he was a bit too quick, wasn't he? He did nearly lose the rear, so we'll keep an eye out.
I don't think he pressed the button fast enough.
No, well...
Also, Lewis's second misdemeanor, there is no thing next to his name, so that must have gone.
You are right. There doesn't seem to be anything saying that he's got a penalty. I'm checking on the radar. No, nothing. Nothing at the moment, but it is still raining. Hamilton Radio, we already know what that says. So, under safety car, once again at the German Grand Prix for the 4th time today, it is now the most safety car appearances at one German Grand Prix in the history of Formula 1. So, there we go. We've never had more than one safety car at Hockenheim. We've had a lot today. And if this race shouldn't be on the calendar next year, I would argue with you, because I think this race should be on the calendar every single year. As Kevin Magnussen comes in from, 11th place he got up to. He's on the inters. He's going to set another set of intermediates now. Everyone's starting to come in under the safety car just to regroup a little bit, but this is really strong. This is a really strong Grand Prix for everybody as Hülkenberg's cars are covered. I tell you what, a few more cars go off, Williams might score their first points of the season. Does look a bit brighter on the start-finish line. And this is Hülkenberg again, look. Ice rink, lock up, on the water, ice rink drag strip, into the wall. Good night, Vienna. So, yeah, Martin.
The wheel was just turning. He may have found enough grip. Easy to say, not that easy to do. When you're heading toward the barriers, you tend to grab some brake.
And there is Nico Hülkenberg, who was possibly on for a fourth place finish in Formula One. And who knows, it might have been a podium as well if someone had problems further ahead.
Well, that's Hamilton had the penalty.
Is Renault, and Renault's first official double retirement since Mexico 2017. They didn't see the checkered flag, of course, in Bahrain.
I don't have my tyres on, and they take a great shape. Okay, copy, Lewis.
Been on 13 laps.
Both classified that day, their first double retirement since Mexico 2017. Hamilton not liking the state of his tyres.
No, he knows that Verstappen's got a huge advantage here, and he's carrying penalties.
Yeah.
Verstappen's pitted 4 times in this race so far.
4 stopper. What a race. What a race.
He was the last person to pit 5 times.
I don't think that's over.
No, it's not.
A race. Michael Schumacher in Hungary all those years ago, Ted?
4 stopper. Yeah,
it must have been. That shot of Hülkenberg is the saddest on one of those camping chairs. Yeah. It's one of the saddest things I've seen since, well, about 20 laps before when Charles Leclerc
did it, yeah.
And that's the saddest thing I've seen since then.
I thought you were going to say the saddest thing I've seen since the Titanic.
Oh.
Not the ship, the movie. That was sad.
No, well, Mika Häkkinen crying in the bushes at Monza was also one of
that was heartbreaking, yeah.
Several times ago. Yes, we have had several people in. George Russell was racing Lance Stroll in the Racing Point out of the pit lane, so they're both on fresh inters as well. But I think they've finished. They can't put any more fresh inters on anybody else because they've run out by now. So Vettel pitted, Grosjean pitted, Magnussen pitted, Russell and Stroll, all for fresh inters. And of course Max Verstappen.
So they're all done.
They have an allocation of 4 intermediates.
Plus 1, Martin.
Wet tyres for a Grand Prix weekend.
Plus 1 though, that was given yesterday.
On that allocation. The only thing that's got any grip in the skating rink is that tractor, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
There's Hülkenberg.
Control the car so delicately, as we saw Kimi Räikkönen do.
He's back in the garage and having a debrief. Nico Hülkenberg. It might take him a while to get over this one, I'm afraid. Anthony Davidson at Sky Race Control.
So the addition to Lewis Hamilton's message from Bono was that all of the cars around him are on the same age intermediate tyres, apart from Verstappen, of course. So, yeah, he's complaining that the tyres aren't up to spec at the moment, but
Verstappen radio.
Nothing else he could do.
What are your thoughts on track conditions, Max?
It's tricky, mate. It's pretty dry. Here in the back, but around you guys, it's slippery.
And I was just going to tell you exactly that.
It is.
It's
that final corner, or final 3 corners that are very slippy indeed. And that's where we are seeing an awful lot of...
We are. We're seeing an awful lot of errors down there last turn. Dad, what do you think they'll do?
Well, I don't know what those...
Oh, well, hang on, safety cars in this lap.
This has been... You think about it, this has been changing every 5 or 10 minutes throughout the race.
Yeah.
But...
It's tricky.
How many inters have anybody got left?
According to Martin, they're all gone, but I reckon they've got 1 more. Let's have from Bottas, hang on.
Normal rain expected from here to the race. So best chance we have to win the race is getting Verstappen at the restart.
So normal rain, and of course Bottas hasn't stopped, so they're on 49. They're going to try and nurse those inters for another 10 laps. That's shocking. Ted, hang on.
Race time rather than be stuck in the pits for another 5 seconds. But surely he's not going to get to the end on this set of inters. They would have to make another pit stop anyway, wouldn't they?
Who's on slicks? Stroll's gone on to slicks, Dad. Stroll's
yeah, I was thinking that if there's no more rain going to be coming down, this track's going to get dry enough for slicks again.
Yeah.
And so it's who gets on slicks first.
And Stroll's done it. Stroll's gone on to slick tyres, and he's bolted. And the safety car's coming in again today. So look at Hamilton. He's right alongside Bottas. Verstappen is backing them up more than he has done so far today. Look, you can see him checking in the mirrors as we get ready to go green again here.
The race.
Yep. Coming into the last corner of the Satch curve, the safety car line is at the entrance to turn 17. However, you can't overtake until the start-finish line. Green flag, safety car in, the race can restart now. We're back underway again in Germany. How many more laps until someone puts it in the gravel trap as we see Carlos Sainz trying to get some dampness into his tyres. Danny Kvyat's gone straight into the pit lane. George Russell is up into 11th place and he's on new tyres, remember. Russell could get some points here today as Sebastian Vettel looks to dive up the inside of Antonio Giovinazzi as Stroll's up to 13th place as well. Right round the outside, Vettel on new Inters gets ahead of Giovinazzi as Verstappen had a clean restart, but Hamilton's under pressure, 3 abreast on the inside. This is going to be contact for sure. Hamilton having to hold off Alexander Albon, who wants 3rd place, but look at Carlos Sainz up the inside. Sainz going for 3rd. McLaren are going for a podium here, but Hamilton's got the position, but he's got those 5 seconds. At the moment, we have a podium for Miss McLaren. Wow! A podium currently for McLaren. This is bonkers as Gasly and Albon go side by side. And I think Gasly got ahead of Albon and Albon's off the track. As through goes Raikkonen, through goes Sebastian Vettel as well. And Vettel side by side, he goes through, so Albon's dropped down to 8th. Carlos Sainz at the moment is in 3rd place as Vettel looks to the inside of Raikkonen and Satch curve. And out he would go off there. But he's going for it, isn't he? Nearly made contact, but this race is, as you say, Dad, is changing every second. No matter what you say. Verstappen pits! Verstappen's in the pit lane! Verstappen pits!
I think Inters.
Verstappen's pitted! Verstappen's gone to Slickstad! So they're swapping! Everyone's coming in! Bottas is in as well! He's going to lose time! Raikkonen's... It's Hamilton! Raikkonen leads the race from Vettel! From Giovinazzi! Hamilton then moves up into 5th place! George Russell is 5th as Vettel is shaking the car! What do you think, Dad? The order has changed again!
I think Hamilton's keeping on the Inters, right, and so is Raikkonen to try and get a lead.
Vettel's going for 2nd
They need
place!
5 seconds.
Vettel's going for 2nd place, which would be the lead of the German Grand Prix. He's side by side with Kimi Raikkonen. Raikkonen is holding that Ferrari off, but Vettel has the inside line and he has to back out. Kimi Raikkonen leads the German Grand Prix in an Alfa Romeo. Wow! Because of that 5 seconds. So that would drop to 3rd.
I knew something else might happen in this race.
Hamilton's boxing. Is Raikkonen going to stop? Can he last to the end? Raikkonen 18. Vettel might take the lead and win from the back of the grid. Sebastian Vettel might become the first person ever to win from the back of the grid in this crazy, unpredictable German Grand Prix. Raikkonen pits, and so does Vettel. I stand corrected. Who's going to lead then? Is Giovinazzi?
Lewis is in as well.
Lewis is in, you're right. Race control, DRS enabled, so slicks are on. Lance Stroll. It's going to be Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll is going to lead. Lance Stroll is going to lead. I don't believe it. Lance Stroll takes the lead of the German Grand Prix.
Lewis is out behind Vettel.
And yes, because of that 5 seconds. So it's Stroll, Verstappen, Kvyat, Bottas, Sainz, Magnussen, Gasly, from Albon, Vettel, Raikkonen, and the championship leader is out of the points as Max Verstappen takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Verstappen's got ahead of Lance Stroll, who is in 2nd place, but Stroll led a Grand Prix. As up the inside, Alexander Albon, side by side with Pierre Gasly. They make contact. Albon gets ahead to 7th. Gasly drops down again. My goodness, this Grand Prix is changing. So, new top 3, Verstappen, Stroll and Kvyat. Wow! And Stroll is catching Verstappen in the Racing Point. You can't write this Grand Prix. This is brilliant. Verstappen won 306, but we've still got 12 laps. How many laps do we have? 15 laps? They've got to stop again.
15 laps to go.
They've got to stop again.
They're on slicks.
Yes, but those slicks aren't going to last until the end of the race. They might be able to nurse them, but I don't think they're going to last, not the way they're blasting round. As the rain comes back, it's not going to last. This is such a crazy German Grand Prix. I can't believe what I'm watching. I think this is the craziest race I've ever seen. What happened? This is Albon getting past Verstappen. Sorry, this is Albon getting past Gasly into turn 6. He locked up. They didn't make contact. I tell you what, I don't need to lie down after this. I need a sedative after this Grand Prix. This is fantastic. I've never seen a race like it. As there is Magnussen battling with Albon now. That's for 6th place. Sainz has dropped to 5th and outside the podium. But Hamilton's 12th and out of the running. He's out of the running completely in this Grand Prix. Oh, I'm running out of words to comprehend this Grand Prix. I don't know how to keep going because everything is changing and you lose words. Let's have Hamilton.
Review.
15 laps to go in this crazy, unpredictable, magnificent German Grand Prix that we are going to be talking about for absolutely decades. And I'm honestly thinking, how am I going to get this down to 10 minutes for the podcast? Because I think the podcast is going to be back in over an hour. As off goes Gasly. Gasly went off the track there. And that's going to give you the position to Vettel. As this is the battle between Sainz and Albon now. Albon looking so quick in that Toro Rosso. Tries the DRS, gets the toe. This is for 6th place, goes to the inside. Can he get the run done? Yes, he can. Magnus is going to try and get back at him. Albon has the DRS and shuts him off for good measure. Albon up to 6th. Can't get over that top 3. Verstappen, Stroll and Kvyat. I can't get over the top 3. It is fantastic and well deserved for Lance Stroll, getting out of qualifying yesterday for the first time in 15 Grand Prix. A new upgrade to that Racing Point this weekend. It's making the car work and he thoroughly deserves it as Vettel went off the track there but was able to rejoin. 1:18, 1:57, fastest lap of the race so far, and the battle for 2nd heating up now between the Racing Point of Lance Stroll and the Toro Rosso Danny Kvyat. Danny Kvyat, a driver who was fired by Red Bull for not being quick enough. Look at this. This is bizarre. As Kvyat is going for the move for 2nd place, but Stroll locks up big time. Makes the corner though, because he was already slowing down, so this is going to compromise him on the run through the Parabolica, and it has, because here comes Kvyat for 2nd place. Red Bull lead. Toro Rosso is 2nd. Wow. As Stroll tried to come round the outside, they're not going to want to make contact there. Stroll tries to cut back, but it's now Red Bull 1st, Toro Rosso 2nd, Racing Point 3rd, Mercedes 4th, McLaren 5th. 5 constructors in the top 5. Half of the teams in the top 5, as Vettel is about to make it 6 teams in the top 6. As he's getting them back through this on Magnussen and trying on Albon now. Wow. I'm just looking at the top 10 and I can't believe it. This has been such a crazy weekend. Qualifying, we had what? 7? No, qualifying we had 8 of the 10 teams in qualifying 3. And now we've got 6 of the teams in the top 10. 7. As that is the pass Verstappen made on Stroll for the lead of the race on lap 48. No further action for Lewis Hamilton in that penalty, so he's got away with it. So that 5 seconds is it. Fastest lap for Vettel, 1:17.590. He's in 7th at the moment, and he's closing up.
Pace.
Martin.
Depends how we can get through the people ahead of him, which is Albon, Sainz, Bottas. Won't be that easy, really, and Stroll.
The one that's now struggling for pace in the top 3 is Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
And he's struggling for pace by round about 2.5 seconds on the lap.
Yeah.
So the man we're riding on board with now, Valtteri Bottas, who
could get third.
Off another visor strip, and I'm sure there's still spots of rain all over the visors, and there's dark clouds still hovering overhead, but the track drying out nicely at the moment. Ted, down to you.
I'm down in the Racing Point garage. No sign of a problem for Lance Stroll, but there's tension down here. His dad, Lawrence Stroll, is watching on the back of the garage in the computers, with Checo Perez is watching it with him, of course.
Because he's out of the race, yeah.
First man out of the race a long time ago.
But he's keeping tabs on it. They just want the points.
It's raining again.
Full of points down here at the Pink Panthers. Let's hope Lance can hold on to get that.
Albon Oh, Albon's ready. It's raining again, Dad. It's raining again out there, so...
Yeah, I think Lewis has given up. He's not been well all weekend.
Yeah, and he's 12th.
He's 12th, and I just think he's saving his engine.
His first non-score of the season, and his first non-podium of the season as well. And it's going to change again. Yellow again, sector 1. It's Hamilton! Oh! Hamilton off and nearly into the wall. He manages to keep it going, but what happened there? Did he lose it? He had the DRS, he didn't have the DRS, so Hamilton again making a mistake. We were just talking about him. Into turn 1, he must have caught the curb. He did. It's wet, and it sends him round and nearly into the wall. That could have been big. But oh, look at that. When was the last time you saw Lewis Hamilton have a bad race? This is unbelievable.
When was the last time we saw Lewis as ill as he's been?
Yes.
He's been between sessions, he's been actually lying in bed, so, you know, I think he'll just have to chalk this one up.
Yeah, he's now 13th, he's behind, he's just in front of the two Williamses now, so correct me if I'm wrong, the only other Mercedes-powered engine in the race is Bottas, who's up into 4th place at the moment, challenging for a podium. So at the Mercedes-Benz Grand Prix of Germany, it's Valtteri Bottas who could actually chalk it up, and Bottas could start closing in as we see 3 abreast. That is now Grosjean getting ahead of Magnussen for 9th place. Magnussen down the aura. Kimi Räikkönen has a run now on Magnussen, trying to the outside into turn number 2 and into 3 as well. It hasn't worked off, but the Parabolica is next. Can he keep the run on through the Parabolica down to the hairpin? It's pulled out to the inside line and it's got ahead of Magnussen. So there's the rain look again. The rain's happening again at turn 6. Räikkönen's already up and Hamilton's pitted, Dad. So he's now stone dead last in this Grand Prix. But he's put on a new set of soft compound tyres. But Hamilton is last in the Grand Prix. Not a good weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he just proves that Lewis is human.
And he won't even get the fastest lap bonus point as well, Dad, because he has to be inside the top 10 to get that. So Vettel currently holds it and will get that extra point. 10 to go, and it could all change in the matter of a second at the German Grand Prix. High drama, high tension, and a race that I am not going to forget in a hurry. And the Hungarian Grand Prix next weekend is going to be dominated by what happened at this Grand Prix, as Bottas has now got DRS on Lance Stroll, but he can't get the move down into turn 2, but will have the run through the Parabolica. Vettel with a 1:17.045 has just extended his advantage at that point.
Spun out at turn 1 on the inside curve, slippery inside curve.
Hamilton, Vettel being warned and slippery on the inside curve. Here comes Valtteri Bottas though. He dives to the inside of the hairpin at turn 6. Lance Stroll knows he's there, gives him room, but Bottas, that was a long shot if it was ever going to work. As they come down now towards the Mercedes hit corner, Bottas not going to go for a move there. Räikkönen's up to 9th, he's passed Grosjean as well, so Räikkönen P9, Grosjean is down now to 10th place. But wow, what a race this is turning out to be.
Danny Kvyat is finished second, of course, before all the way back in Hungary in 2015, and another one who just went onto the right at the right time, and whose team, Toro Rosso, have given him an epic chance of finishing on the podium here this afternoon on a weekend where he waits for his partner to give birth for his first child to arrive.
What a weekend!
He could be standing on the podium on that very same weekend. And talking of births, if watching in California, Hendricks, Jonathan Button, I hope you're enjoying your first taste of a Formula 1 Grand Prix. Jensen, Brittany, congratulations.
Thank you.
And this puts more pressure. Kvyat, if he gets a podium, will it be a return to Red Bull?
Yes.
For Kvyat?
Ahead of Gasly as well. Would he get promoted ahead of Gasly? That is interesting. It could all be changed at the Hungarian Grand Prix, or it could change at the it could change at the Belgium Grand Prix after the summer break. Is Gasly's time run out now that Danny Kvyat and Alexander Albon, for that fact, Dad, who's in 7th place ahead of Gasly in 8th, has that now just changed it? I can see rain spots on the camera lens as this is Grosjean repassing Magnussen. Is Magnussen going back ahead? No. Oh, they touched again!
Is the Haas
They touched They touched again, Dad. Once again, the Haas boys.
Yeah, they are, as their team boss said, they'll never learn these two.
Rule 1, don't hit your teammate. Rule 2, read Rule 1, as that's the rain cloud coming over the circuit. And let's hope that we get it. Oh, goes Bottas! Valtteri Bottas is off into the wall and out of the German Grand Prix. And that's Lance Stroll. And Toto Wolff bangs the table at their home Grand Prix, celebrating their 200th Grand Prix start. Both of the Mercedes have ripped up their contracts, thrown them out and snugged them to death. Fantastic! Safety cars applied. Bottas out, and the top 3 changes again.
It will bring Lewis back into it, though.
Just say that once more.
It might bring Lewis back into it. It all depends how Lewis is feeling. He must be feeling really drained at the moment. He's had flu all week. You know, anyone that's had flu will know.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's amazing that he took part in this Grand Prix. And you know, this will bring them all back together.
For a 10-lap shoot.
Still get a point.
And this is going to be the shootout now to the end of the race. He did exactly the same as Hamilton. He caught the curb and it spat him into the wall. But he was just going too quick. It wasn't like Lewis, who is mid-corner. He was already on the exit power, so he just spat him into the wall. Nothing Valtteri could do about that. But this has been a terrible weekend as Hamilton pits again now for another set of tyres. But it's a scrubbed set of soft compound tyres. So he wants that power for the end of the race. We are going to have a 5-lap shootout for the end of this crazy German Grand Prix. And I've got my fingers crossed for Danny Kvyat to somehow get ahead of Verstappen and win the Grand Prix, because I would love it on the week that that Kelly Piquet and him are expecting their first child. That would be fantastic to say, I'm a Grand Prix winner and I've just become a dad. That would be fantastic. And Verstappen as well brings him into the hunt as Bottas is scoring no points. Neither is Lewis Hamilton. This has now brought Max Verstappen into the championship hunt. Unbelievable.
Why are they not doing anything with Bottas's car?
You don't think they're going to end it behind there's too many laps to run it behind the safety car, surely?
No, but they don't seem to be manoeuvring the crane in position.
Is Valtteri still in the car?
The green... No, he's not.
Magnussen's just pitted as well, so he's pitted. He's put on another set of tyres. It's rainy again trackside, so this is crazy. Let's take another look at Bottas. So look at coming into turn 1. Just watch. He's going to snag the curb. He's already on the power, unlike what Lewis was. So he's carrying too much momentum, and it's just into the wall. A complete passenger. And I saw that, and I thought, that's it. Don't go in the wall. But Lance Stroll confirmed for 3rd place. But I tell you one thing, Racing Point and McLaren are fighting for position in the Constructors' Championship. They're lying 3rd and 4th now. Vettel is in 5th place as well, but McLaren could get their first podium since 2014 in Australia, right when the hybrid era began, and Kvyat could get a victory, same as... Well, this is crazy. Look at that. Kvyat up 12 places. Stroll up 12 places. Vettel up 15 places. If Vettel ends up winning this Grand Prix, he will be the only driver in Formula 1 history to win a Grand Prix from the very back of the grid. From 20th, from last to first, and there's a crane on the track now, Dad.
Yeah.
But is the barrier damaged? If it is, I don't think it will be, but they might, because that would stop the race,
No,
but it doesn't look
I don't
damaged.
think they're not even looking at that, are they?
No, I'm not too sure. No, they're just removing the car, so safety car should be in this lap. So we're going to have a 5-lap shootout for this German Grand Prix. We were talking this morning, Dad. I turned to you and I said, I'm feeling the fear, I'm feeling the tension, because this is going to be an absolute classic. I think this is one of the best Grand Prix ever, and that is taking some beating. This has had everything, and there's Lance Stroll. I thought we were going to hear a radio for him, but we haven't. Crofty, Martin, over to you.
I'll head off down there now. through the tunnel, but I'm going to be listening intently because the restart is going to be mighty. And if I may say, watch Vettel in P5, the pace we've seen him have in the closing stages of this Grand Prix as well. And you've got drivers desperate, Kvyat, Stroll, Sainz desperate to grab a podium today.
Well, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Martin. You can leave the commentary box now. Anthony Davidson will join us from race control and take over in Martin's co-commentary position. The safety car is in this lap, Dad. We are going to have a 5-lap shootout to this incredible German Grand Prix. Thank God it is only 64 laps because I might have collapsed after 65. Safety car in this lap. We've got Verstappen. We've got Kvyat. We've got Stroll. We've got Sainz. We've got Vettel. We've got Albon. We've got Gasly. We've got Raikkonen, Grosjean and Giovinazzi. Magnussen, Kubica, Russell and Hamilton. For one more time today then, let's go blasting around the Hockenheim ring as our race leader Verstappen launches it away. A Honda 1-2 at the front of the field for the last time. Fingers crossed today we are green and racing in Germany. Down to turn 1, 5 to go. Vettel leads the way. Sainz hasn't got a run, but Vettel looks under pressure from Alexander Albon. So this could be all about to change positions. Look at Gasly now. He's looking for a position. Albon's going for Vettel now. He's got a lovely toe. Gasly's got a run on Albon as well. So let's see what he can do out of it. But as they all come through now, 14 drivers left in the Grand Prix with 5 laps to go. Here comes, look at that, Sainz having to defend. Vettel going up the inside, locks up at turn 6, gets the move done, but Sainz should get the cutback, should get the power, but Vettel having to 4th place. Vettel to 4th with Lance Stroll just ahead of him, but Sainz looks awfully fast. Is he going to go for a move? Gasly's certainly going for a move on Alexander Albon. They're going side by side, and Gasly makes the mistake and holds up Kimi Raikkonen as well. Albon stays in position. It's raining now in the stadium sector as well as they head in. Verstappen leads from Kvyat, from Stroll, from Vettel, Sainz as well, the top 5. Albon, Gasly, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi up to 9th. Grosjean's now dropped down to 10th place as well for the last point scoring position. Magnussen, Kubica, Russell and Hamilton. 4 to go, and look at Kvyat. He's beginning to lose ground, but is he quicker? 1.3, he's closing! He's closing! Kvyat is closing on Verstappen. Kvyat is closing on Verstappen. It's not over yet. It's not over. This can all still change with one spin, with one position. This race could all change away. As look at this, it's all still going on further behind. Vettel from Sainz, Albon, Gasly, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi and Grosjean. Is Vettel going to go for a move? And Stroll's gone very deep into the hairpin at turn 6. Vettel looked for the move but couldn't get it done. Had to back out of it. What do you make of the restart, Dad?
It was just as I thought. You know, the thing about this race is I should have had the conviction of my thoughts when it started, because everything seems to be coming through. I said about the weather could be in the last 15 minutes, you know, a lot better.
It seems to be happening, yeah.
Yeah. I have this thought that we could get a winner that might not have won before, and
well, we
might do in Daniel Kvyat.
And Lance Stroll as well as Bottas returns. There's your race leader at the moment, Max Verstappen. Race control, DRS enabled with 3 laps to go, and Vettel could still get a podium here. You said he might get a podium earlier on in the Grand Prix. He's currently right behind Lance Stroll, and he's going to do everything he can to take it for a 3rd place in his home Grand Prix. So anything can happen. Stay right where you are. Do not move. Don't answer your phone. Don't do anything. The race is on in Germany, and the heat is on for Lance Stroll as Vettel's going to go for the outside manoeuvre. He's got the move done easily before turn 6. Cuts back to the inside, gets the move done as Gasly tries to move on Albon. Did they make contact at the hairpin? Answer, no. Giovinazzi up into 9th place. race, repasses Grosjean, but it's up into third place now for Sebastian Vettel as he sets after Danny Kvyat. Off! That's Gasly! Gasly's off with a broken front wing and a puncture as well. And Pierre Gasly, that's his Red Bull contract gone, isn't it now, Dad? Surely. That's him done.
Well, if he made a mistake, yeah.
I think he touched the back. Is that going to cause a safety car? It shouldn't do. Oh, he hit the back of Albon, didn't he? This is turn 6. He locks up, comes back. This is the crunch point. Did he hit Albon? He's going to hit Albon, isn't he? Let's listen. He's hit Albon. He hit Albon, Dad.
Yeah, that's him over.
That's the Anton goal. Kvyat will be back at Red Bull.
It's a shame, but yeah, I think there'll be a reverse.
Yeah, Gasly will go back down. But can Kvyat hold off Sebastian Vettel? If he can do this, he certainly will be back. These two have battles before.
He's not going to because he's gone past him.
Yeah, Vettel up to second place ahead of Kvyat, and the German fans applaud that one. There's one lap left after this one. Verstappen still the race leader, but for Sebastian Vettel, from 20th on the grid to come back to second place is a remarkable job. You said, which Vettel are we going to get today? Are we going to get the smart one or the stupid one? We've got the champion one. Over to you.
Yeah, look at this. He easily takes him there. I think Daniel gave up that position just to make sure that they finished, right? And I think Sebastian will be absolutely ecstatic with second place. I don't feel that he'll go any further than that.
Albon and Gasly under investigation. Last lap. I can't believe it. It's the last lap of the German Grand Prix. On what we could never have a German Grand Prix for another few years. I think after today's, every single person who is a Formula 1 fan is going to be rallying to get this race on the calendar permanently. And it looks like it's going to be Red Bull who are going to be victorious here in the next few minutes. Red Bull have never won at this circuit. They have won a German Grand Prix twice before. Once with Sebastian Vettel, once with Mark Webber. But this is going to be their first victory at Hockenheim at a circuit which has cost them dearly before. It's going to be, we thought, is it going to be another Mercedes dominance after qualifying yesterday? Boy, were we wrong. The rain has delivered us an absolute cracker. The German Grand Prix has certainly delivered. I have lost all words to say, but for Max Verstappen, for the 7th time in his career, he's going to win this crazy German Grand Prix across the line, takes the checkered flag. Max Verstappen wins the German Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel is second, from 19th, from 20th on the grid to second. Danny Kvyat gets his first podium back in Formula 1 since he was dropped by Red Bull at the Chinese Grand Prix in 2016. Fantastic race, a race that will go down in history as the best Grand Prix ever. Max Verstappen wins the race with 7 pit stops. Wow! Wow! Look at Toro Rosso. It's their first podium since they were victorious back in 2008 at the Italian Grand Prix. They have never, ever been good here. 7 minutes to Hockenheim. They've scored points only twice. 8th place was their best ever result. They're second today.
What a race. Wow.
Amazing, Max. That was just masterclass. Amazing.
Thank you, Chris. Wow, what a race.
He got the fastest lap.
For the pit stops as well. We did a really good job. Thank you.
He got the fastest lap as well, so that's 26 points. With Hamilton not scoring points, he ended 11th. Bottas not scoring. That has just brought Max Verstappen into the title fight. How about that?
Well, it's good for going to Hungary, isn't it?
Oh, the Hungarian Grand Prix is anything to go by for this Grand Prix. I think I might need sedating. Wow. I'm sweating buckets. There's a pool outside my commentary box. I think I might just go jump in it to cool down. That was a barnstorm. How long did it take us in the end? In total, let's have a little.
What a race.
Yes, you're a paranoid.
I'm just trying to check how long that race actually took us. Pit stops, 5 pits for everyone in the field. How the hell has that happened? That is just such a crazy Grand Prix. That race has taken us just to the 2-hour limit. Just to the 2 hours. 1 hour, 58 minutes.
There's a happy man about to become a dad.
Red Bull driver. For sure, a Red Bull driver next time out. I can't see Gasly saving his seat. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. It's harsh. I can't see it. Kvyat has just proved what he is. A second victory for Verstappen this year means that it is only 9 out of the first 11 races Mercedes have won. Wow. Red Bull quicker than Ferrari. That is just a masterclass. A 7th career win for Max Verstappen. Austria, then Germany. And on the podium at the British Grand Prix as well. Wow. You can't write today. This has put down any doubt that Formula 1 is boring. Look at Danny Kvyat. Look at Kvyat. And there's Carlos Sainz as well. Sainz finished 5th in the end. Brilliant. Round of applause for Lance Stroll. He finished 4th in that Grand Prix. Fabulous race for him. His best result at Racing Point. Oh, that is the greatest Grand Prix I've ever seen. And no further action between Gasly and Albon's accident. So Albon finishes 6th. Raikkonen is 7th. Giovinazzi 8th. A double point score finish for Haas. 9th and 10th for them. Hamilton outside the points for the first time this season. Kubica 12th and Russell 13th. Their best Grand Prix, especially at Williams. And Martin Brundle is going to interview the drivers.
It's with the top 3.
Max, what a race. What a race. 5 stops for you, some adventures, stunning drive.
It was amazing, of course, to win in the end, but it was really tricky out there to make the right calls, and you really had to be focused. We pitted onto the slick tire at a little moment, but made a nice 360, so it was nice. Enjoyed that, but of course you come out on top here. It was all about trying not to make too many mistakes, and really tricky conditions, but of course amazing to win.
It's a day for a wise head. You're such a young man, but you're a wise head on young shoulders. You really kept your hair in the most treacherous conditions when others didn't.
Well, you learn, is it, over the years? So, of course, very happy with the whole performance today.
Okay, well done. Congratulations again, Sebastian. Well done. You must be so pleased with that.
Well done, Sebastian.
20th to 2nd.
It was a long race. I mean, at some stage it felt like never ending, but it was a lot of fun. It was very tough with the conditions. Very tough to read what's the smartest move, but I'm just happy.
Did we hear that you had a little turbo problem early on? You seemed to be struggling for pace, and then it really came good.
It took a while. I don't think there was a problem, but I really, in the beginning with the intermediates, I really couldn't get the hang of it. And eventually then I got going, so it's good that the afternoon took so long. Obviously I stayed tidy for most of the race, but it was a long one. I don't know if I can recap the whole race now, but congratulations to Max. I think he drove superb, but for us obviously it was just go and get the next car and the next car and the next car.
When did you first smell a podium? When did you first think, hang on, I can be up there today?
I think before the last safety car, when I realized that I was quite a bit quicker and happy to pass people, it was quite straightforward. I was a little bit faster and could time it right. Yeah, I saw a lot of people being cautious in the first corner, and that's why I was just giving it everything, and it worked to get really into DRS range, and then, you know, I had good moves down the back straight, but yeah, I don't know. This race was so long, you know, I don't need to watch your back. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thanks a lot, Sebastian. Daniel, well done. A podium, not your first podium, but a very enjoyable podium for you.
Yes, it was amazing. Amazing to be back on the podium. Incredible with Toro Rosso, you know, after so many years to bring a podium to the team is amazing, and the race was crazy, and finally I managed to put everything together to get this podium. I'm really happy.
Okay, any big moments, any scary things going on out there?
It was a horror movie with a black comedy. So yeah, it was at some point I thought the race was done for me, then it got alive again. It was incredible roller coaster, a bit like my whole career.
You're expecting your first child anytime soon as well?
Yeah, she was born last night, so...
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you, yes. Thank you very much.
Very happy day indeed. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
What a way! What a way! He's racing there. Wow. What do you say about that? What a great Grand Prix. Dan, over to you.
Yeah, great news there that Kelly's given birth to a baby last night.
Baby girl as well.
You know, what a day for that lad. You know, and he could have got the Red Bull drive there, because every turn he's the yo-yo man, isn't he?
Yes.
You know, he keeps coming back. He's not a yo-yo. He's a boomerang man, right? He keeps coming back. But I also want to pay tribute to Lewis. Lewis should not have raced today. He had a disastrous day. His team had an even more disastrous day. But he kept on right to the end, and he was within 1 second of getting a point.
Let's listen to the top three.
In traffic, you slow down so much that the tires drop and then you're lost.
You idiots for going out.
I didn't mind. And then the safety car, I thought, why is this another safety car? And then I thought it would be long, but they were very quick recovering the car.
Yeah. I was hoping that it would be their end of the race.
I honestly don't know what to say. I think that is one of the greatest races I have ever seen in Formula One. That had everything. The lead changed so many times. There was action. We've only had 13 finishes. That, for me, that race is up there with Brazil 2016. I think it's even better than that. I think it's right up there with Belgium 98, with the drama. Yeah, Dad, I was just saying, Dad, I think that race is up there with Belgium 98 for the amount of drama we had.
Yeah, it was for excitement, that's it. The last few races have been great for Formula One because they've had the excitement. Like, Lewis, I'm a great Lewis fan, but he should never have raced today.
Yeah, he should.
But he's Superman, isn't he?
Yeah.
But the real Superman there is who gets driver of the day, right? Not the winner, right? It's got to go to either the second or the third place drivers.
I think the top three today have all earned driver of the day. They have mastered these conditions perfectly. I can't think of it. I think I'll give it to Danny Kvyat with his great race. I definitely think I'll give it to. I definitely think I'll give it there. I don't know. Driver of the day. I don't know. But first of all, we've got the podium ceremony coming up now. Dad, what do you think? Driver of the day?
Well, my driver of the day is Daniel Kvyat.
And there he is. Third place.
Right, he became a dad last night, and he's, after all his troubles in Formula One, right, the yo-yo man, the boomerang man has come back and has got a podium.
Sebastian Vettel started the race in 20th, moved up 19 places to second, but that man, Max Verstappen, brought himself back into title contention, wins the race, and not a Mercedes driver on the podium at the Mercedes Grand Prix. We'll hear the Dutch national anthem.
Yeah, this is the first time for a long time Honda have got a double podium, because they power both Toro Rosso and the Red Bull team. You know, it's a great day after all the dark days with McLaren. It's a great day for Honda, and this could definitely keep Honda in the sport.
Oh, for sure.
2021.
For sure. So Max Verstappen wins the race. His only 7th victory, his 26th podium. Sebastian Vettel, podium number 116, but it will mean the world after starting in the back of the grid. He wins the race as well. He wins the race of the fans, doesn't he? From 20th to 2nd. That is a dominant performance. But for the driver of the day, new father, Danny Kvyat, finishes in 3rd place for what is only his 3rd ever podium, and it's Toro Rosso's first podium in well over a decade. What a fantastic race! The champagne is sprayed to celebrate what a day it has been. At the Mercedes Grand Prix of Germany, they have faltered. It's Red Bull on top, with Ferrari 2nd and Toro Rosso 3rd. 3 teams on the podium, 2 engines and manufacturers on the podium. None of them are a Mercedes. What does that say about Formula One? It is unpredictable. And Simon Lazenby, you are in those lederhosens for this Grand Prix. Dad, wrap up this day.
Well, it's been a great day for Red Bull Academy. That man there must feel great, because every driver on that podium is a product of his academy.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's a great day for Honda, great day for them, and you know what? It's a really good day for Formula One. Lewis will come back to fight another day, because he is a Superman, right? And Valtteri will as well. But for this Mercedes Grand Prix, it's definitely a Honda Grand Prix.
Yes, it is definitely a Honda Grand Prix. What a Grand Prix it has been. 1, 2, 3, Verstappen, Vettel and Kvyat. What a Grand Prix it has been. We do it all again in just 1 week's time as we head to the summer break destination of Budapest,